Stormy conditions in Buffalo tonight as both the Bills and the Colts get set to finally kick off their preseason schedule. Glad you're with us tonight. Rob Stone and Bills legend Steve Tasker here with you. You and I kicked off the Bills preseason campaign last year. At that point, 3 talking points: new ownership, new head coach, and then that 3-man battle for the starting quarterback spot. Real concern here in Buffalo that the Bills were caught in quarterback purgatory. Concern is gone. Tyrod Taylor is the man. He got paid like it yesterday, and that good vibe kind of extends throughout this franchise.
Yeah, and I think the players and coaches, at least on the football end of the organization, they really welcome the opportunity to be relieved of an excuse for why they aren't going to play well. This is a guy they believe in, Tyrod Taylor, and make no mistake, the club is betting on him, and Tyrod Taylor bet on himself. He won the battle very early in camp last year, although it went to the end before they named a starter. Word has it, from day one, Tyrod Taylor set himself apart in that competition. You look at the 63.7% completion rating, 20 TDs, 6 interceptions. You love that ratio. You'd love to see more TDs. He'd stayed away from the big mistake a year ago. He threw a great deep ball. He had the second best quarterback rating for a season in Bills history. He also went 222 attempts last year without throwing an interception. And of course, his consistent ability to make plays when the throws weren't there, he could make positive yards with his legs. That led this team to the #1 rushing team in the National Football League. He has shown consistency. The contract extension shows the club and his teammates have all bought into him, and I think it sets them up for a very exciting year.
Yeah, he had mom and dad in town yesterday, just happened to be around for the game and for the contract signing as well. Plenty more on his contract a little bit later in the broadcast, but one of the main areas the Bills feel they're going to be better at this year is defense. That's Rex Ryan's strength, and for more on that, we go downstairs. Here's Mike Catalana. Mike?
All right, thanks, Robert. Let's start with the weather. I'm not a weatherman. I'll play one on TV. Rain now. The players talking about it before the game. They're just hoping storms stay away and we can have plenty of football tonight. Now, you mentioned that defense. One thing about Rex and the organization, there's a lot of continuity coming into this year, but there's also some new faces and some pretty high-profile ones. And I would say Rex knows the guy on the left pretty well. His twin brother, Rob, now joins the team as a defensive assistant head coach. And Ed Reed, legendary defensive back safety, going to be a surefire Hall of Famer. Look at their numbers. 18 years as a coach for Rob Ryan in the NFL, coordinator with the Saints, Cowboys, Browns, and Raiders. And look at Ed Reed. And the players are paying attention to what Ed Reed and Rob Ryan say to them. These are guys they will listen to based on their experience. And to Steve, these are guys that have shown the ability to, in Rex's case, work with Rex Ryan and get the job done. And Steve, you know, when players trust a coach, they will listen.
Well, you can't trust anybody more than Ed Reed to know what's going on. I think one of the things, and Rex told us about this on Thursday, Ed Reed has really done a good job starting to mentor the veteran guys, showing them how to prepare like a true professional. And the young players coming out of college really crave that. And a lot of coaches don't have the ability to relate to players the way Ed Reed does, and also Rob Ryan as well. They're a no-nonsense pair of coaches, really grab players' ears, and I think it's going to pay huge dividends when you get down to the nitty-gritties of putting in game plans week to week. These players are going to be more prepared than ever.
He compared Ed Reed to the Pied Piper, all the young guys following him to the lunch hall, following him to the film room. Great guy to lead the youth on this program. Defense, it's a big theme. 2 guys you're going to want to keep an eye on tonight. That man, Zach Brown, he's inherited a starting spot at the linebacker spot. And how about Brandon Spike? Back in the fold, looking to reignite his career. Kickoff next from the Ralph.
Make time for Snapple. By ECMC, the difference between healthcare and true care. And by Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
We welcome you back. Rob Stone, Steve Tasker, Mike Catalana with you. The image tells one of the themes to tonight's game. Weather is going to be a storyline. Temperature mid to high 70s. The humidity, though, is going to jack up the feels-like temperature, and thunderstorms have been rolling in and out and in and out all day here, Steve.
Yeah, and as you see, Chuck Pagano's already had one preseason game canceled in the Canton Hall of Fame game. They didn't get a chance to play because of field safety. We've been preparing here as we lead up to this game as to whether they're going to evacuate the stadium if lightning is within the area. They will do that as well, so we run the risk of, with Rex Ryan standing on the other side, that this game may be delayed because of this weather. It's rained off and on all the way leading up to it. But as Rex Ryan and the Buffalo Bills take on the Colts, it looks like they're going to kick it off at least on time.
Jordan Gay and his big leg will be the man kicking off the preseason for both of these franchises. The Colts have been waiting and waiting to get their preseason campaign underway. It was supposed to kick off last weekend in the Hall of Fame game. Hard paint denying them.
Yeah, I can feel for them, too. You get wound up to play a preseason game, and then they give you the big pump fake and tell you you're not going to get a play. It messes you up for a few days. So I'm sure that the Colts, as the ball falls off the tee, now are excruciatingly ready to get this game underway.
The tease continues.
It is raining pretty hard now. It's starting to pick up. It's been off and on. And for those of you at home, and I mean, look at that. I mean, you can see the officials' pants waving in the breeze. If this blows off, there it is. They're going to have to bring somebody in to hold this ball. I don't know if you practiced this far. You know,
it's pretty low on the concern chart.
Yeah, you've got a few things on your plate before finding somebody to hold the football in case it gets. There it is again. Right now, the Colts are pulling their hair out, saying, "Listen, what do we have to do to get a game started?"
Well, when it has rained out here today, it's been really Gulf of Mexico type rain.
Yeah,
it has come down.
It's not messing around. It's a fire hose.
Yeah, your windshield wipers have been outmanned all day here in Buffalo.
Which is unusual. It hasn't rained in 6 months in this area. It's been a very dry summer, and all of a sudden, as we need good weather to arrive, it leaves.
So Jordan Gay to kick to Quan Bray. And the Bills' preseason is officially underway. Goes through his arms, and Bray will take it. Continues down around the 23. No Andrew Luck today for the Indianapolis Colts. Missed 9 games last season. It's been 279 days since Luck last played a game, so instead, Scott Tolzien will come on, just picked up after 3 seasons with Green Bay. Only 2 quarterbacks for the Colts today, and Tolzien and Morris. Look, we know Luck is the clear number 1, but they are really thin behind him at this position.
And you can bet they'll make sure their play calling doesn't put them in any sort of risk, particularly early in this game.
Josh Ferguson, the tailback, to the right of Tolzien. Tolzien's going to come out throwing it to his left, complete, missed tackle, then out of bounds. T.Y. Hilton, what a campaign T.Y. Hilton had last year, and it's carried on into the preseason. Here's now your unit's Buffalo Bills starting defense and the big guys up front.
Yeah, Corbin Bryant down inside Adolphus Washington. All these guys, particularly Adolphus Washington, Jarrell Worthy, these are guys that are really looking to prove, and watch them in their one-on-one matchups as to see how they're doing. Forget about the overall defense. Pick out a guy you like and watch him play if you can, and that'll tell you how he's doing. Just watch him individually.
Tight end goes in motion. They go to the ground. Ferguson, a little to the left, picks up a few. Let's continue our look at the defensive lineups.
Let's get back to the lineups. This is the Buffalo Bills linebackers: Jerry Hughes, Zach Brown, Preston Browns, IK, and Impali. These are familiar faces to Bills fans. These guys a little bit undermanned with the injuries that have happened to the Bills. In the secondary, Ron Darby, Steph Gilmore. Those guys aren't going to see too much tonight. In fact, they're not on the field right now, but Duke Williams, Corey Graham, that's the projected starters for the season. Tonight, you're going to see all kinds of players rotate through the lineup.
3rd and 1 for the Colts on the opening drive of their preseason. And the drive looks like it will continue. Right, with the tackle, the give to Robert Turbin.
Yeah, no, and that's just straight ahead. That's you catch those on the snap count, those early in the early going. This is, if you're the Indianapolis Colts, it's a huge sigh of relief. Get that 1 first down, and you feel like you're in your rhythm.
Tolzien under center. Play action, looking left, lobs it. Looks like it was partially deflected and almost picked off. Zach Brown back in coverage, and that's one of his strengths.
Yeah, Tolzien got his arm hit as the ball came out. It fluttered. He was not throwing that football to Allen. He was throwing it deep to T.Y. Hilton. As you'll watch, that's IK and Impali. Catches his arm just as the release point. At the release point, see, he doesn't follow through, and it actually looks like he was throwing it to Allen. No way. He was throwing it deep down the sideline. That was a great play by IK and Impali against the left tackle of the Colts.
2nd and 10 as the rain intensifies here in Buffalo. To the ground. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage. Preston Brown and Zach Brown around for that tackle.
Yeah, this has always been, and particularly last year, this Bills defense was pretty stout against the run. I think in the early going in these preseason games, the Bills, I think, are going to have the advantage. They're a team that has got a year under their belt in this system. They're going to be tough to run on. The 3-4 is a tough defense to run on anyway. When you've got big bodies down inside, everything bounces outside, and it gets run down pretty quickly.
3rd and 10. Tolzien was harassed last time he went back to throw, gets this one off, and incomplete.
T.Y. Hilton came off the field, couldn't get his other foot down behind him, and you'll watch, and that, oh, no, he bobbled it and dropped it on the side, and we could not see that from our angle. I didn't know the ball came out. And he came up limping, too. It took him a long time to make his way off the field. He finally does make it to the sideline, and he's limping on the sideline. So we'll see how, keep you up to date on T.Y. Hilton's health. You can bet he may not play again tonight.
It looks like Reggie Bush is back to return this punt. Originally, we were told Reggie was not going to be around, and he'll scoop it up and run it for about 6 inches. So a little surprise already, 46-yard punt. Reggie smiling. That might be a conversation. Reggie, I'm not sure you're supposed to be out there, buddy. The Bills go under center when we return.
Here in Orchard Park, the rain gear on here at the Ralph. Let's show you the ECMC keys to the game for tonight. And first and foremost, they want to win. But as Rex said, not at all costs. That's why the starters will play probably a limited amount tonight. Be smart. That's a mantra for the entire year. They don't want the dumb penalties, and that starts in preseason game number 1. But no matter what they do on the field, in practice, wherever it is, compete, compete, compete. Keys to the game.
No competition for the starting quarterback spot this year. It is Tyrod Taylor. Inked a huge deal yesterday, and he takes the snap, looking to his left, and then throws to his right. Finds Shady McCoy. Shady with a couple of jukes. Gets it to about the 24. TJ Green with the tackle. We thought we'd see a lot of running. Instead, it's let's go to the air on the first play.
Yeah, he did, and he stood in there a long time and then finally found the outlet. But you got to know that they're treating Tyrod Taylor as though he's a valuable commodity, and he is. So make no mistake, they're going to protect him at all costs, but they still want to get the guy to break a sweat. So we'll see how they walk that fine line here in the early going.
Under center, McCoy, the give, across the 25, cuts to his left, still on his feet, and gets a first down. Eric Walden, the outside linebacker, with the tackle for the Colts. So Shady getting 2 touches on the opening 2 plays.
And this is why he's so dangerous. You'll see this play was supposed to go back to the right. He bounces it all the way back on the over pursuit on the outside. Yeah, defensive back over pursues in, loses contain, and Shady McCoy got outside of Javier Arenas. Or not Javier Arenas, that was, let's see, Vontae Davis on the outside.
The Pro Bowler. Mike Gillisley on at tailback now as Shady takes a blow. Gillisley to the left. He'll pick up a couple. Your units, Buffalo Bills starting offense right here. Save lives, join team units. Donate blood, visit units.org.
Now you see on the left side, Cyrus Kwanjo and Ryan Groy starting out there. Richie Incognito and Cordy Glenn will not play tonight. That's the rest of those guys is what you're going to get in the regular season. Of course, Robert Woods, LaShawn McCoy. Sammy Watkins not playing, just activated this week after that foot injury he's been dealing with in the offseason.
Robert Woods, number 10, in motion. Taylor looking for Woods, has him at the 40, met immediately. Patrick Robinson with the tackle.
Yeah, on a 2nd and 8, that's a play that gathers him, well, about 5 yards. Easy completion for Tyrod Taylor, and I think you're going to see a lot of that in the early going. But that's, you know, if you can complete those, You know, I think one of the things Tyrod Taylor would like to do is be a little more consistent in the pocket, throw the football in the intermediate ranges, but if he can raise his completion percentage about 5 or 6, maybe even 7 or 8% to get to 70%, it's exponential what that'll do for this offense.
3rd and 3, 3 wideouts. Taylor lobs one, has a man, and just barely overthrew the speedy Marquise Goodwin.
Well, Marquise Goodwin just missing out on a trip to Rio in the Olympics in the long jump. Couldn't walk that one down or jump long enough to pull that one in. Tyrod Taylor, we said it in the open, throws a great deep ball, and I think that ball's right there. Goodwin ran a long time before he looked back to try and grab that, didn't adjust to it as well, and I mean, Marquise Goodwin's got an extra gear to get there. If you'd have picked that ball up a little earlier, he might have been able to pull that in.
Our sense is we're going to be talking a lot more about Goodwin tonight and through the course of this season. Colton Schmidt on for his first punt of the campaign, a little to his right, handles it well, and lofts this to the left of Quan Bray. Bray will let this one bounce into the end zone. 60-yard punt. Colts back on offense when we return. 0-0, 9:07 left in the first.
Last game that this stadium will be known as Ralph Wilson Stadium. The Bills are set to announce new naming rights for this new era cap company. There's one here. It's way too hip for me to put on. That will be a formal announcement coming this week, but naming rights for the place that from 1998 until tonight was named after the legendary Hall of Fame owner Ralph Wilson. New Era Cap Company taking over the sponsorship of the naming rights of this facility, guys.
And the big contract theme continues for Buffalo over the course of the last 24 hours.
They're making a lot of deals all of a sudden, aren't they? That's awesome. That'll be great.
Tolzien under center, gives it. Ferguson, he is met immediately. Late flags come on.
This is from the umpire. And this is against the Colts. And you may want to decline this.
Personal foul, chop block. Offense number 75. After the goal, first down.
Yeah, okay, they didn't. That was a chop block on Jack Muhort. On the backside, you watch right over in here. He's going to go high and then down low. Was down inside, actually. It might have been on Marcel Darius. Muhort went down low on Darius as he was engaged with the center. And now the Bills did decline it. They brought it back and declined it. I was right.
Stay with your gut instinct.
Who would have thought?
My guess is you've been right more than you've been wrong in your history, my friend.
That is a bad guess. But it made more sense. The Bills absolutely snapped that play off. You'd rather have a 2nd and 13 than a first, and even if it's a 1st and what would it be, 17.
3 wideouts for the Colts, to the left of Tolzien. Under pressure and almost picked it in.
Marcel Darius almost pulled that in after the pressure got there. Goodness gracious, Preston Brown got through in a heartbeat along with Corey Graham, and the both of them got Tolzien. You see, Marcel Darius almost got his hand on it, and that's a big freight train coming at Tolzien. Darius can't pull it in, and that almost turned into an enormous play. Great defensive stunt right up inside by the Bills.
It's really been a decimated offensive line for the Colts. Might be another reason you're not seeing Andrew Luck tonight. And a timeout called here by Tolzien. So the Colts really trying to rework their offensive line. They have a lot of hope in their center, Ryan Kelly, their first-round pick from Bama, but
yeah, he's coming out, and then believe me, when you come out of Alabama, which is a top-flight college Division I program from a national championship heritage, you still haven't played against a Rex Ryan defense, and that, as a rookie coming out of whatever college you want to, Ryan Kelly's going to look up and not recognize any alignment they've they put up there. I mean, that's the basis of the Rex Ryan defense.
And Rex said he's going to be pretty vanilla today as well. Doesn't want to get a whole lot on
he would be vanilla.
He
was going to be vanilla if it was maybe Andrew Luck in the lineup, but Andrew Luck didn't suit up tonight. So he's given Tolzien a little lesson in PhD football, and that's what you saw there. They had no idea. Plus the rookie Ryan Kelly trying to sort through that, and the communication is just going to be really difficult for the offensive line.
So 3rd and 13.
Now this is a very vanilla look.
A lot of bodies back for the Bills. Found the seam, unable to connect on that one.
Yeah, Corey White got turned around in the route, working against Philip Dorsett, and that was Dorsett came wide open. Tolzien just could not put the football on him. That was a play that needed to be made for the Colts.
And look who's still back there returning punts. The new pickup, Reggie Bush. Had that meniscus injury, suffered on the concrete in St. Louis last year. Didn't go through mini camps or OTA for the first time in his career, so I really feel refreshed. He looks like the punt is blocked, and the big man doesn't know where it is. Finally slapped out of bounds.
Chris Gregg, hey, number 89 blocked the punt. That's kind of cool.
Pat McAfee just slaps it out of the back of the end zone.
Well, you'll see it's coming right up the middle, and he does a great job just getting in low, just sticking his arm out, gets like nobody knows where it is. McCaffrey gets it. And that's the smart thing for the punter to do. If you can't get it, just knock it out. It's only 2 points. Great job by Gregg. Missed him completely. Didn't have any chance of roughing the kicker. And that's an enormous play that's going to lead to one of the most rare special teams play of all time, the free kick.
Illegal batting. Offense number 4. Penalties declined. Result of the play, safety.
Special teams had been a concern, more on the return side for the Bills. Who cares about returns if you can block punts and get a safety out of them? Rex has to be pleased. The Bills on top, 2-0. So we welcome you back to Buffalo. Gregg with the block punt, slapped out of the back of the end zone, 2-0 Buffalo. So Pat McAfee comes back on to punt it at about his 20.
Well, with all the tight ends they have, the more you can do, it gives you a chance. Chris Gregg wearing my old number, wearing an 89, the number I used to wear, and it's not mine. But
Reggie Bush is back to field another punt, backpedaling inside his 10, a little slip, and now he starts going north. Cuts to his left, avoids another tackler to the 30, and then dives to about the 31. That's one of the main reasons they picked up Reggie Bush just before camp opened. A return of 17 yards. Last year, the longest punt return for this franchise, 27 yards. They only averaged 7.5 yards per return. Join us at One Bills Drive next Saturday, the 20th, for Kids Day, presented by Independent Health. Special giveaways, interactive games, prizes, much, much more. Visit BuffaloBills.com or call 1-877-BB-TICKS, T-I-C-K-S, to reserve your seats today. New quarterback for Buffalo. Tyrod's day's done. E.J. Manuel is in and under center, and E.J. hands it off on his first play in charge of the offense. Gillisley a pickup of about 5 on first.
E.J. Manuel in the game. He was one of the guys. He's first-round draft pick a few years ago, 4 years ago. And, you know, you think about it, a guy who I never thought that the Bills really were done with him. A lot of fans were really disappointed. He's played a couple of times, never got a long stretch of games to really establish himself. But he's a guy who has all the physical ability. He's a great human being, a great teammate. The organization loves him, and they'd love to see him succeed, but it doesn't look like it'll be here in Buffalo.
E.J. flushed out, showing his legs, and he picks up a first down. He does so many things that give you hope and promise, and he certainly looks the part.
Well, he's a first-round draft talent. I mean, he's big, strong, got a big gun. He knows right from wrong. He works hard at it. He knows right from wrong. His teammates love him. But it does not translate or has not translated to the field thus far in his career. Now, like I said, I would like to see him get a long stretch of games where he can start to relax a little bit, but he's never gotten that chance here in Buffalo. Different things have happened and have derailed his career, not let him do that, mostly Tyrod Taylor. But I think E.J. Manuel still has some talent, will find a home in this league.
E.J. picked up the first with his legs, goes to the air. Underthrew Woods on that one. Well, to talk about E.J., if you talk to a lot of the sources out there, they'll tell you it's unlikely that the team is going to pick up his fifth-year option for next year, the 2017 campaign. Are you comfortable, though, with him being the Bills' number 2 man should Tyrod go down?
I am now, because he's had the same amount of time in the offense that Tyrod has. And now the coaching staff not only knows him better, he knows the offense better. So I think he will play much better if he gets the opportunity.
2nd and 10 from the shotgun. E.J. The give. Gillisley. He's got a first down. And a whole lot more. T.J. Green finally pushing him out of bounds in front of the Indy bench. A pickup of around 19 or 20 yards.
Well, this is what Gillisley gives you. He's fast. I mean, there's no two ways about it. There's every running back, you know, if you look at LaShawn McCoy, he's got a lot more tools in his toolbox. The biggest tool Gillisley has is speed, and that's a great recognition by the Bills coaching staff to give him a chance to do what he does best. Great blocking up front gives him a chance to do that. Picks up the first down.
Gillisley checks out. Jonathan Williams, the rookie from Arkansas, number 40 in the backfield now. Woods in motion, and they give it to the Razorback rookie. Oh, lowers his head and barrels towards the 30. For more on E.J. Manuel, we go downstairs. Here's Mike.
Yeah, Rob, I had an interesting talk with E.J. at camp this week about his role as the backup. And while he says you always prepare like you're going to play, he knows the needs for him in this offense are different. He could come in at any time. Said he worked with Chase Daniel, someone he's known for a long time, a guy who's been a long-time backup, about what it takes. But he said he still wants to be a starter in this league, but he's doing what it takes to be the Bills' backup right now.
And he backs up into the shotgun formation. Fakes the give to Williams. Lofts one to the end zone and overthrew Goodwin. And Goodwin hurdles his way into the stands.
Well, he's a long jumper, as we said.
It's kind of a sloppy leap for his standards.
Yeah. The Russian judge gave it a 5.
Typical Russian.
He didn't stick the landing, I know that.
He let it linger, though, for sure.
Yeah.
So 3rd and 4. Woods and Leonard Hankerson, part of the wideouts with Greg Little right now. Again, E.J. looking left, wide open, complete, and another first down. That's Robert Woods. Woods 47 grabs for 552 yards and 3 touchdowns last season. He appears to pretty much be that number 2 receiver right now to Sammy Watkins.
Yeah, no question. He's going to be on the field. He played hurt last year, had some off-season surgery. Feels 100% for him, probably for the first time in as long as he can remember. It seems like it takes forever sometimes when you're dragging those injuries around for an entire season. But he did it. He played when he wasn't 100% a year ago, and I think the club appreciated it. I know the coaches did. And now to feel good and get on the field again, I know it's really rejuvenated him.
Back to the ground go the Bills. Cross the 20. Back to Woods. He and Watkins, the 1-2. But Rex and company looking for who's going to be 3, 4, and 5. And there's some good candidates out there. Goodwin and Little seem to be, at least right now, leading that charge. Greg Solis, another good one, not available today. That first soft tissue injury of the camp for the Bills. He's out with a hammy.
Yeah, they'd like to see Colby Listenby as well play a little bit, the rookie out of TCU. But you know, you look at a year ago, Robert Woods had his best game when E.J. Manuel played for Tyrod Taylor. So those two have something.
Going for the end zone. And 5 and 6. Touchdown. Chris Gragg with the block punt, and now a touchdown.
Great throw by E.J. Manuel as well. Put it right on the money, right where it needed to be. Great route by Gragg coming out to the corner. E.J. Manuel play fake and throws it right away on time, right on the money. That is a well-executed football play by the Buffalo Bills on both ends of the pass, plus the pass protection up front.
19-yard scoring play there. What a first quarter it's been for Cragg. At this point, you know, he's wishing this is the end of preseason. He's a lock for that roster. Dan Carpenter on for the extra point. He has missed all of one kick in preseason. You and I.
Yeah, it was a highlight on Thursday. The one time he didn't make a kick in training camp. He has been absolutely phenomenal.
Dan Carpenter gets the extra point. EJ leads the first touchdown drive of the Bills' preseason campaign. They're up 9-0. 9-0 Buffalo with just about 4 left in the first quarter. Take a look at your scoring drive over the course of it. EJ Manuel, his first drive, 2 of 4, 25 yards and a touchdown. They went 69 yards in 4 minutes and 20 seconds. All Buffalo early on. Jordan Gay back to kick this one off. Quinn Bray, the Auburn product, in the end zone all alone. Short kick by Gay, good hang time, and one of the up men will take it at about the 13 and then really has nowhere to go, but finds a little seam, gets across the 25 before he's smacked out of bounds. Robert Turbin with the return. Buffalo back on D. They're shutting out Indy when we return. We welcome you back to Buffalo. Last game at Ralph Wilson Stadium, sort of.
It is coming, an era is coming to an end, no question.
A new era is beginning.
For the first few decades of this building, it was Rich Stadium. Then it turned to Ralph Wilson Stadium when around the time when Ralph Wilson was put into the Hall of Fame for sure, and it's been that way since 1998, and deservedly so. He was a great owner and a guy I and a lot of guys like me owe a lot to.
Team will hold a news conference later this week to unveil the official name of the stadium again. New era taking over the naming rights here at the Ralph. Tolzien under center, quick strike, throws it out wide right and connects with Philip Dorsett, University of Miami product.
Yeah, that was well defended as well. The Bills rallied to the sidelines to make that tackle. Robert Blanton for the Bills coming up from a safety spot. Watch, this is kind of a backward pass, but as he catches it, you see Preston Brown come out, and Blanton, that's a 1-yard gain on a completed pass, or 2-yard gain. That's a pretty good play defensively.
2nd and 8 from the 30. Buffalo loaded up for the run, and they were prepared for Ferguson. Very little there for the rookie from Illinois.
Yeah, this is once again, and what you're looking for in this, watch the defense ball this up, and then watch Preston Brown fall out and come around the outside of this formation and pick up the back as he tries to bounce it out. He runs right into him. The big guy's inside. They'll ball it up in here, and Preston Brown's going to come around the edge. When the back comes in to bounce, he gets tackled.
3rd and
great
7.
Defense.
Tolzien from the shotgun, looking right all the way, finds his man, looks like it's going to be short. And another completion to Dorsett. But this should bring on the punt team.
Yeah, this will be a 4th and 1, and they're running the punt team out. Great defense, and that's great defense. You can say, well, they gave up a 7-yard completion. Alexander making the tackle, but that's what the defense is designed to do. Let them complete a short pass and then tackle them short of the first down. It's basic football work to perfection here.
Rex told us if the regular season started today, Lorenzo Alexander would be my starter. He has been mistake-free throughout camp.
And that's crucial for coaches. Mistakes kill you, and if a guy doesn't make them, you've got a spot for him.
Reggie Bush is going to watch this one sail over his head and into the end zone. We have seen a lot more Reggie Bush than anybody here expected. I think maybe more than Reggie expected. I talked to him Thursday. He said, look, I've been through this dance before. I know the steps. I know the routines. There's really no need for me to get out there. But Rex says, get on out there and sweat with the big boys.
First down.
So this will push the Bills back a little bit.
This is called on James Wilder Jr., a late hit. on a block downfield. Going to set the Bills back.
More on Wilder in a moment. Buffalo Bills individual game tickets, they are available now for select games. To do it, just visit buffalobills.com. You can also call 1-877-BB-TICKS, T-I-C-K-S, to reserve your seats today. Next up for the Bills, next Saturday, the early game, taking on the Giants. And there's James Wilder Jr., a hugely heralded recruit coming out of Plant High School in South Tampa, Florida, went to Florida State. Didn't quite have the success there, but he's just such an awesome figure. It's almost hard not to give the kid a chance, and Rex hoping for big things from him on the special teams side. EJ still in at quarterback, hands it off. Jonathan Williams, the ball carrier. Williams with a great opportunity to earn a roster spot and some playing time. McCoy's number one at running back. Reggie Bush, we're not yet sure how much we're going to see from him. We already know that Carlos Williams is out for the first 4 games of the year. Then here's Jonathan Williams.
Yeah, and this is a guy that he didn't play much his senior year because he had a Liz Frank sprain in his foot, and a lot of teams shied away from him. I'm a guy who had it, and you can't play with it, but it's not long term, so it's not something that's chronic. And this is a guy that could be very special if he stays healthy and gets a chance to play a lot. He's got a lot of ability.
Williams met at the 15. Yeah, he missed his entire senior year because of that injury, and the brass of Buffalo said it probably cost him a round or 2 in the draft. So they feel like they got a pretty good pickup in the 5th round, number 156 overall.
Yeah, he could have very well been in the top 32 picks from what he did in his junior year. He's a big, he's 6 foot, 223 pounds. He's got some size and he's fast. So, all those things boiled together. Is a guy that really had the talent to go high in the draft.
In 3 years there in Arkansas, went over 2,300 yards. 3rd and 5 for EJ. He's looking right, lofts it up, little double coverage. This is dangerous, and it's picked. Nope, they're going to call it incomplete. A big break there, looking for Hankerson, but it was Desmond Southward, a Wisconsin product, who eventually pulled it in.
Yeah, you're going to see this now. EJ, I think on a throw like this, his arm is so good. I think he in that when you take the air out from under it as a quarterback, you rob your receiver a chance to get underneath it and gather himself to battle for it. On that, you just have to react to it, and that makes a big difference.
Colton Schmidt gets that one off at about his 5.
Gosh.
Nice hang time. Gray backpedals to about his 25. Slips up. Flag does come down late. And this should be on Indy.
No, it was a great
60-yard punt. A return of -2 yards.
It was a great job by Colt Anderson getting down the field and drawing the penalty.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Receiving team number 57. 10-yard penalty. Indianapolis keeps the ball. 1st down.
You'll watch as Anderson comes in right here. He gets hit right there, and you see how he throws. It's a little bit like a soccer player, I'll admit. I mean, he went down easy.
Easy tasker.
Yeah, right.
Easy.
He went down easy and threw his arms up as though he got hit in the middle of his back. I don't know that it was really, a little bit of embellishment, but hey, the flag came out, and that's what it's all about. It's a great play by Anderson on a special teams play, and hey, it's important.
Yeah, much like soccer, make those officials make a call. Put them in a position to say yes or no.
If you have to do their job for them, get somebody else.
Josh Ferguson at tailback for the Colts still. Shotgun, Tolzien, quick strike, finds number 5, Tavon Smith, the rookie from Iowa. Good pickup on 1st down for Smith and the Colts. We're still trying to get on the board.
Seymour's a guy that the Bills really want to see play a lot, and I think Rex Ryan actually mentioned him by name, wanting to see how he's going to stand up outside. They would love to see him play a lot and play well, obviously, but they've got high hopes for him.
Seymour, the 6th round pick out of Southern Cal. All Buffalo through the opening 1st quarter, and Chris Gregg, block punt and a touchdown. It's 9-0 Bills. 2nd quarter on the backside. Rob Stone, Steve Tasker, Mike Catalana back here with you. Buffalo shutting out Indy 9-0 as we get set to start the second quarter. A rainy day here in the Buffalo area. Look at the man on your far left of your screen. Bryson Albright. Coach Ryan calls him Big Bird, and for good reason. 6'5", 225, yes. He's got room to grow and expand, but they have high expectations for this young, undrafted player from Miami of Ohio, and he's in pursuit of a handoff that goes away from him right there. That was Josh Ferguson with the pickup there on second.
Yeah, they're really interested to see how he plays. He's going to have to obviously play quite a bit and play very well on special teams. But as you say, 225, the thing about him is he's got room to gain weight from the waist up. His legs are, he's got a pro lower half, we'll put it that way. He's just not that strong when he gets down to lift weights and all that. Plays with good leverage. He runs extremely well for a guy 6'5", and that height, you can't coach tall. And he's got that. And an outside linebacker, he also has a knack for rushing the passer.
Buffalo's been tough on third down, and a drop ball really burns the Colts there. Devon Smith fighting for a roster spot, should have pulled that one in and had a first down. Pat McAfee will come back on, and hunting has been a bit of an adventure for the Colts so far.
You see, the ball comes out right on time. You got to catch that. And even Meeks, the defensive back for the Bills, is disgusted with himself. The guy was that open, so that's a missed opportunity completely for the Colts.
No Reggie Bush. This is Walter Powell back at his 35 to return it for Buffalo. He's going to backpedal and continue to backpedal inside the 15. Booming punt. And here comes Powell. Flags on the play. Powell met at the 30 and dropped. Man down for Indianapolis as well. C.O. Moore, number 51, linebacker, and he's tended to. 67-yard punt, 16-yard return.
Yeah, that's a punter who's frustrated about getting one blocked.
Return, holding, receiving team number 21. 10-yard penalty. Buffalo keeps the ball. First down.
So another penalty on Buffalo. That's something Rex has really been trying to avoid during camp, and obviously here in a preseason game.
That was iffy at best.
So while the Colts tend to more, we'll step aside. Buffalo back on offense, trying to add to their 9-point lead.
Catalana back with you in Orchard Park. The Bills with a lead 9-0 here starting the second quarter. The rain has stopped. It's getting breezy at the moment. A guy to keep an eye on out there on the field right now, Cyrus Kouandjio, offensive lineman. And Rex Ryan was talking to us about how Kouandjio really seems to be adapting to playing on that left side, and it makes sense. That's where he played at Alabama, helped lead the Tide to a national championship. Now, I know we got Cordy Glenn here as the starter, but Kouandjio has shown a lot in camp, showed that ability, comfortable on the left side. They know he can play on the right.
Herron, the running back, little there.
1 yard gain on the play.
Second and 9 coming up for Buffalo.
Yeah, we spoke about the weather earlier in this game. If you look up, the skies here are charcoal gray, and you can see the wind. That flag is like 8 by 10. I mean, it's a huge flag, and it's just being whipped by the wind up from the top of the stadium.
EJ with time over the middle, complete.
We spoke about Cyrus Kouandjio, and as a guy, I mean, he's 6'7", listed at 322. I think he was 322 when he's in the 6th grade. He's just an enormous guy. One of the knocks on him coming out of Alabama was the fact that he had a serious knee injury. One of the reasons he's playing better this preseason on the left side is because it's his left knee. So you can see that brace that he wears, that's the one that bothers him. So he can push off his right knee to get off the line of scrimmage. You see E.J. Manuel taking that in. That was a quick snap and a blown cut. That was a blown call. You see him having a word there.
And he's going
with Fernando Velasco, who he snapped that ball. Nobody was ready for it. You saw as we were ISO'd on Kouandjio, the ball was snapped before anybody was ready. See, nobody Nobody's ready. That's just EJ trying to get a first down on a broken play.
And he missed it by a yard. You know, Eric Woods, your starting center, and Rex kind of offhandedly mentioned to us during our meetings, we have no true backup center. So Velasco getting some time. They're going to need somebody to back up Wood at some point. Gray back, Colton Schmidt back on to punt it. Schmidt into the wind. Gray at the 18, cuts to his left. Heads to the 30, then heads out of bounds. Flipped out of bounds about the 32. Josh McNary back there to shove him out of bounds. My One Buffalo is coming in September as part of the Buffalo Bills mobile app. My One Buffalo makes it easier to attend games, manage your tickets. It also provides fans with special offers throughout the entire season. To learn more, visit myOneBuffalo.com. My status, my tickets, my game day, My One Buffalo. Crowd getting into this one as Buffalo continues to shut out Indy. Tolzien still your quarterback for Indianapolis. We expect him to play most of, if not all of this half. To go to the ground, and Josh Ferguson to the right. Pickup of about 2, maybe 3. Mario Butler, the corner there with the tackle.
Well, this is just, there's nothing too complicated about this. The defense is going to try and stuff this up inside, and then what happens, you know, it's just I formation, and it's just traffic and garbage in there. You got to find your way and jump into the tree grinder, so as it were, and that's just hard-nosed football, and it's a 2-yard gain.
Play action, Tolzien, nice breakup. Duke Williams.
That was a great play. He had it coming across, trying to get the football to Dorsett on the deep cross. It's well thrown by Tolzien, and you see there, had his left arm up away from the receiver, bumped him a hair early, but that's a bang-bang play. It's an excellent defensive play by Duke Williams. And this is a team in Buffalo. If some of these corners, if they're not playing in Buffalo this year, they're going to be playing somewhere. They are neck deep in excellent cornerback play at this far in training camp.
Bills have only allowed 1 third down conversion, and that streak continues. Big breakup of that one intended for Josh Boyce. Duke was there again.
And Duke coming in from the safety position this time, played deep, broke on the ball, followed the quarterback's eyes. You're going to see it coming right in. He's going to come in from deep. He came in to help out on the coverage by Mario Butler. Bills defense is playing really, really sharp in this first half tonight.
Pat McAfee on for yet another punt for Indy. Walter Powell is the man back. He's at the 15 for Buffalo. He's going to take it on the bounce, a little risky, and drag down immediately.
Yeah, that's a good play, though, by Powell. If you can't field it, you can't let the thing bounce. It was going to be inside the 10, maybe inside the 5. He had to take that chance and stop that ball from advancing.
53-yard punt, 4-yard return. Bills back on offense when we return. Indianapolis average gain per play, 1.4 yards. Buffalo, 5.1. Tyrod Taylor's day already done. E.J. Manuel on. He's already thrown 1 touchdown pass. Tight end, Chris Gregg. That made it 9-0. That was after Gregg blocked a punt earlier in the first quarter. Knocked out for a safety. That's where we stand. That
last drive was ended by a bad snap and a bad cadence, and we'll see if they can fix their communication issues now and get the ball snapped properly.
EJ fakes the handoff. Lobs one and pulled in. Walter Powell, the return man, with the grab.
Well, this is a nice ball by E.J. Manuel as Powell's going to pull this in. Nice look in. Absolutely great route and great throw just on the fingertips. He gets dragged down off the field, but this is a great route inside by Powell. That was a very well run route. Gave E.J. a lot of space to throw the football, and he put it in there. That That was a receiver helping his quarterback out. As you see there, he got horse-collared off the field.
Yeah, Powell still being tended to on the sideline. In and out of the hands. Wow. Leonard Hankerson had that one and it zipped right through.
You know, there's so many receivers here in camp for the Bills. A lot of guys have a lot of ability to impress, and they have during training camp. The one thing I think the Bills are looking for from a number of these guys, like Hankerson, Listenby, Marquise Goodwin, is their ability to do it day after day after day, week after week after week. And you get a guy like Hankerson who just misses that one. You got to make the catches you make, and you got to make them every single time.
2nd and 10, EJ under center. Completes that one this time to Hankerson. I always like it. Guy made a mistake. Let's go right back to him. Get him back on the good side.
Yeah, and there's something to be said for that. And that's whether EJ did that on purpose or whether the coaching staff called it. No question. It came out on time, ran the good route, and that time, no mistake. Brings up a 3rd and 3. But you're right. I mean, you need the guy to play well. EJ's going to play through halftime, maybe into the 3rd quarter. He needs his guys to have their head up.
Buffalo 1 for 4 on 3rd down. They have a 3rd and 3 right now. They are not going to get it. Not even close. Boom Herron, nowhere to go.
Yeah, T.Y. McGill blew that play up. Boom Herron grabbed the handoff and was dodging before he even had a chance. Right here, watch the big fella come in, slips right around. That's just a blown coverage. Croy gave him a nod, and Quanjo could not get down to help him, and that was a miscommunication.
The Colts, they lead the world in players named T.Y. Angled punt. Ray's going to call for a fair catch, and it slides out of bounds, or slides down at about the 14. So the Bills defense back out on the field, pitching a shutout, 9-0, 8:54 left in the second.
This season, a lot has been said about how much a difference year 2 to year 1 is going to be. There's going to be in the production of this defense. Early going at the infancy stages of the 2016 season, it looks to be true. The Bills coming through, putting pressure on, making big plays, breaking on the football, and getting this Colt offense off the field very frequently, forcing them to punt, and of course getting a block punt that led to points. This defense has really been the story for the Buffalo Bills at this early stage, and early returns are very promising.
Play action, Tolzien flush to his right. Connection and then muscled out of bounds at the 25. Big collision right there and a big hit from 56. David Hawthorne, one of those linebackers brought in late in camp to try and help fill some of the linebacker void that's been created.
Yeah, there was that was the proverbial exclamation point at the end of the sentence right there. And that it takes, I got to tell you, the guy weighs 260 that he just knocked 4 feet sideways. It takes a little bit of momentum to get that done. That's a big hit.
And that hit will resonate with Rex and his staff as well. Diving grab made right there. Josh Boyce with the grab. That'll bring up another play after a pickup of 6. Mike?
Yeah, we talked about Ed Reed and his influence on this team and how the players gravitate to him. Rex called him the Pied Piper. They follow him around, and it's not just the safeties, but the safeties in particular think they can learn so much from Ed. And I remember interviewing Ed when he came here to visit as a senior in college at Miami. I said, what do you remember from your trip to Buffalo? He said, I remember it was raining that day. So he must feel right at home back there at the Ralph tonight.
Well, Mike, we had a good conversation with Rex about Ed Reed, and I love the one story he brought up besides the Pied Piper part. He said, Ed comes out and he says, hey guys, let's catch some tennis balls, right? Let's work on our hand-eye coordination, a tougher thing to catch. And Rex goes, if I had said that, the young guys all would have looked at me and rolled their eyes saying, tennis balls, come on, old school coach, get with it. Ed Reed says it, let's go find some tennis balls.
Well, if Ed says it, must be true.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons he brought him in. I think it's a smart move by a guy who's perceived as a player's coach. Players' coaches get this reputation for being a player's guy because sometimes they don't put the pressure on their players and make tension in the building. But if you bring assistant coaches in like an Ed Reed and like his brother Rob, who will say, hey, listen, this is the way it's going to be. You bring in some guys that can put some pressure on the players to make sure they cross their T's and dot their I's during the week. Because at this level, the games are won Monday through Saturday, and it's confirmed on Sunday. If you don't prepare, it's going to take its toll on Sunday. If you play hard, that's one thing, but if you play smart and prepared, you're going to win a lot of games.
So rookie Adolphus Washington with the tackle right there, bringing up another 3rd and long for Indy. Ed Reed, well, Rex Ryan's got high hopes for Ed. He thinks a defensive coordinator and a head coaching job not too far away for that man.
Well, Rex isn't alone. Ed Reed's got high hopes for Ed Reed as well.
Indy just 1 of 6 on their 3rd down conversion attempts. And this one, bounce back. And the mark is going to be positive. Boyce with the grab, so the sticks will move, and Indy will finally see a drive continue.
Yep. That was a big hit as Boyce got spun around with the impact. He came out very open. Tolzien hits him on a nice throw. Spikes, drops it, and then Williams comes in and lays a good lick on him, and Boyce spins out of it and gets the first.
Spikes better at the run side rather than the pass side of the linebacker position. To the ground, Ferguson.
This defense, man, when they sniff run, they go. This defense, I mean, when they've got their keys down, and even the guys that are in there playing now, who you wouldn't expect to be playing every down as a linebacker, when they see that guy turn and start to hand that ball off, they are absolutely sprinting into the backfield. Hawthorne on that one, along with Randall Johnson, all these guys have really got their keys, and man, they are blowing the run game of the Colts up.
2nd and 13. Tolzien will have to go to the air. He's going for a big one across the middle, and that one never had a chance. Looking for Bray, but the coverage was there from the get-go. Mario Butler.
Yeah, Mario Butler had deep leverage, and Bray ran into him as he tried to adjust to that deep throw. Tolzien had to get rid of it, and unfortunately, when you're throwing the deep ball, you let go of it so early, you don't know exactly where the guy's going to be, so you kind of make a best guess, and sometimes you're wrong.
Buffalo to get back into the playoffs after a long drought. They know their defense is going to have to shoulder more of the load this season. It's been a priority for Rex, and they are playing lights out early on here in the preseason. 3rd and 13 for the Colts. Tolzien under pressure. Throws it away. 3 on the punt team. Bryson Albright continuing his pursuit of not only the quarterback, but maybe a spot on this 53-man roster, maybe a developmental spot as well.
You're watching, he comes up the field, does the spin move, doesn't work, so he stays with it and chases Tolzien down. He actually does get it, but not before Tolzien can get rid of it. And that's kind of the tenacity you need. He tried the spin move, it didn't work. You can't stop there. You got to keep going, and it gave him the chance to force the throwaway.
Albright with the bottom half courtesy of Gold's Gym, the top half courtesy of Curves. Powell lets this one go into the end zone.
That's 2 good moves Powell has made back there.
Caffey blasts that one into the end zone. Powell looks like he's okay. Will he stay on the field as the Buffalo offense returns? Scoring came in the first quarter. Yeah, that one ready to play, ready to suit up for Rex. Take a look now at your New York Lottery inside the numbers. Take a break from the expected. Play scratch-off games from the New York Lottery.
Yeah, you see they led the National Football League, averaged 152 yards a game. I'll tell you what, 70 runs of 10 yards or more, you're doing something right up front. And the Buffalo Bills really got some good use. And I think a lot of it starts with Tyrod Taylor and his ability to make something out of nothing. Every so often he would run, even if it was for a 4-yard gain or a 5 or 6 yard gain, it was better than a throwaway, and it set him up for future success, and his consistency really led to that #1 ranking.
152 yards per game rushing they average. Tops in the NFL. EJ's going long and overthrew his man. Walter Powell has been very active on special teams and in the passing game.
Now you see here, one of the things about that rushing team last year, these are the guys who started all, these guys got extensions Eric Wood also, he's 16 starts. That doesn't do him justice. It's actually 48 starts in a row for Eric Wood. That guy is a workhorse. And then John Miller and Jordan Mills, a lot of criticism last year after the season was over from websites and that kind of thing. But the Bills know those two guys can play when they feel 100%. So they're pretty excited about their front five offensive linemen.
Pick up the middle. Let's go back to the offensive line right there. Cordy Glenn, he's out today with an ankle. Richie Incognito out due to ribs. Quanjo, the big guy, moves from right tackle to left tackle. How do you think Rex feels about the status of his offensive line as a whole?
I think he's got those five guys right there. I think they trust implicitly. They're ready to go with those guys. It's the other three. It's Cyrus Quanjo. Can he play both tackles and come in and start? Can Eric Wood stay healthy for an entire season? Do they have a backup center? And the guy that's playing their guard tonight, their left guard, is Ryan Groy.
Drop ball there by Hankerson, his second drop of the evening, and he quickly drops that helmet off.
Yeah, and that's the frustration. You know that you only get so many opportunities. One of the interesting things about that offensive line, this Groy, we had talked about it when they come back out, Ryan Groy playing left guard tonight for Richie Incognito. His role on the team, if he makes it, is going to be to play both guards as a backup and backup Eric Wood as a center. If he can play all three of those spots, there's no question he's going to be the guy they have to keep. But he's got to make himself a good enough guard and center to do that.
We talked about Groy with Rex Ryan the other day, and Rex goes, "Where's he from? Wisconsin, right? That's all you need to know." You know, when in doubt, pick an offensive lineman from Wisconsin. Odds are you're going to be in pretty good shape.
Oh, yeah, they're big enough anyway.
So Schmidt hits that one. Gray backs up, fields it at his 17, goes left and right, up the middle. Special teams smothers him at the 25. They'll rule him down at the 27. Preston Brown there, 59-yard punt, 10-yard return for Bray. 9-0 Buffalo. Indy back on the field for offense as we go back downstairs to Mike.
Yeah, it is not a new player on the field. It's just a new name. Nicole Roby has changed his name to Nicole Roby Coleman, and the Coleman is his mother's name, his birth mother, Maxine, who passed away at the age of 44 when Nicole was a younger person in high school. And he's always wanted to honor her, and he decided to do it this year. And he went through the process, the legal process. Got help getting it done, said it really means a lot to him. This is a woman who meant so much to him in his life growing up. He is here, he says, because of the support he got from her. So that's why he changed the name. He said he's proud of it, and he's proud to honor her in this way with her name on the back of his uniform.
Roby Coleman, the University of Southern California product, looking to go back to the Coliseum. Early October, these Bills in LA taking on the Rams. You hear about the Rams, their preseason game tonight, expecting over 90,000 at the Coliseum.
You talk about the drought in Buffalo of playoffs. It's been a long drought for the folks in LA. They haven't had a game at all. And this is a dropped coverage for the Colts.
Chase Kaufman with the reception.
Kaufman turning up the field, and that was, you got to think maybe Brandon Spikes dropped coverages. He was the first guy out there, but that's not set in stone. It's hard to see when a guy comes running free. Somebody didn't get the call.
Tolzien, he dropped at the 44.
That won't go down as a sack because he gained a yard, but that was good pressure as one of the Colts offensive linemen is going to stay down. They've got an injury. Now, he could feel it. Tolzien knew he was running out of time, and finally the last guy to get there is Jarrell Worthy.
Worthy, 2.5 career sacks, the Michigan State product.
The injured Colt is number 66, Kevin Graff. First year out of USC.
Well, let's talk about that defensive line right now. And no Shaq Lawson, the #1 pick, number 19 overall, out until sometime in October with that shoulder. Of course, you know, the injury to Reggie Ragland at the linebacker spot. But without Lawson, Mario Williams is gone right now. How do you characterize the defensive line, particularly with Adolphus Washington, the rookie from Ohio State, already penciled in as a starter?
You know, the thing about him is he's got all the tools it takes to be an absolutely great. He's big enough, 6'4", 295. He's young, comes out of Ohio State, which is a top-notch program. And he's really, think about it, he's the highest draft pick left on the roster this year, the third rounder, because of Shaq Lawson, who's in for surgery, and of course the tough break that Reggie Ragland went through, a non-contact injury. But this is a guy who has all the physical tools. The question coming out of him in Ohio State, will he make the adjustment to being a professional well enough to stay on a football team? He has the ability, but having the ability gets you in the door. You've got to work hard. You've got to become a professional. You've got to be well schooled. You've got to know the defense inside and out, particularly your role in that defense. And Adolphus Washington's got a long way to go to prove that he's done all that or can do all that.
But he's done enough to prove that he is a starter already for this organization. Flag on the play.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense number 94. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
These type of penalties that are driving Rex Ryan nuts. They did it last season. They've had some issues with it in preseason as well. These penalties that are self-inflicted, so to speak.
Jarrell Worthy, I'm surprised Jarrell Worthy didn't take a lap here on the field.
Still
I mean,
might.
you see guys break practice and you go, where's that guy going? And you forget he just did an offsides, and they make him run. They're out of the play. They don't get to play anymore until they take a lap. And there's another one.
This one
IK Papali is pointing. He's pointing at Joe Haig.
Defense number 75.
Nope. Sorry,
5-yard
IK.
penalty. Results in first down.
So back-to-back penalties give Indy a much-needed first down, and they are finally in Buffalo territory.
Right up here. See if he sees somebody. No. No. They're making each other jump. And that's two in a row right there that, that just costs you a first down and field position. I mean, that's really frustrating for a head coach. And not only that, your teammates standing on the sideline going, what are you doing? I mean, you can't get over those kind of things.
Buffalo bringing some heat. Tolzien zips it out right away and completes that one to Dorsett. Philip Dorsett, probably in line to be the number 3 wide receiver for Indy as we close in on the 2-minute warning. I see a couple raindrops working their way in here in Buffalo right now. The Bills on top 9-0. 2-minute break. We'll step aside with them. Bills holding on to their shut. We welcome you back to Orchard Park. 9-0 Buffalo on top of the Colts. Yeah, got to keep those phones away from the young kids as long as you can. The Northtown Automotive halftime show coming your way. Rex Ryan mic'd up. We'll have the highlights of this 9-0 current lead for the Bills. And Mike down on the field. We'll talk to Rex as he comes back out onto the field at the conclusion of halftime. All coming your way on the Northtown Automotive halftime show. 2nd and 6 for the Colts. Jordan Todman, the running back, but they're going to go to the air. Tolzien lofts one. Finds Todman. Todman may take it the distance, and he does. The Colts are on the board.
Masterful play call by Indianapolis. Masterful. Caught the Bills coming, anticipated a big rush. It's all going to come from right here. The Bills are going to come up. They're going to sneak right out here, and the offensive line is going to let those guys rush the passer. They're going to get out in front of the running back, and there is nobody home. This is a wind sprint against air.
42-yard touchdown, and the Colts are going to go for 2. Todman, one of many guys in the backfield for Indy, fighting to be the backup behind Frank Gore. Yes, Frank Gore is still your starting tailback in the NFL. Todman, Turbin, Ferguson, Trey Williams, Chase Price, all these guys looking for some playing time behind Frank Gore, who is not suiting up tonight for Indy. And again, the Colts will go for 2 here as Duke Williams looks on. Tolzien broke it up at the last second.
Pulled it away.
Wonderful persistence on that play by the rookie Seymour.
He has been really impressive for the Bills in training camp. Rex Ryan mentioned him by name in getting ready for this game, wanted to see what he could do. And boy, oh boy, does he make a great play right here. That's just wanting it more than the other guy. This guy is a free agent out of USC, was not drafted, but he was prominent on the Bills draft board. It's almost like they got a free draft pick by getting him, because they wanted the guy. And as soon as the draft was over, they called him up, and here he is.
So Rex Ryan sees his unit concede points late here in the half, but also sees Seymour staying with the play and breaking it up. A 6th round draft pick out of USC.
So they take him in the 6th round because they liked him, and I thought he was one of the rookie free agents, but they picked him up, and he's played extremely well through training camp. 6 foot 185. Anytime you can get a corner who can cover small, quick guys who's 6 feet, you kind of love that. Another USC guy along with a handful that they have on this roster. This is a guy that really is going to contribute. And this is, once again, another cornerback that the Bills have found. I think they are really talented at that position.
Short kickoff. It's going to bounce inside the 10. Finally scooped up. And a big return is brewing here across the 40. Inside Colts territory. Flags are on the carpet. So hold everything.
Might be on Corbin Bryant.
During the return, holding. Receiving team number 33. 10-yard penalty for
that's going to be on Colt Anderson.
First down.
And that's a crusher.
Return game has been a focus, both on punts and kickoffs for Rex. That one is going to sting. Colt Anderson, the Montana product, whistled for that one.
As you look back at this, Colt Anderson right here, he's got his hand outside of the shoulder, trying to block Trevor Bates for the Colts, and got caught. And that was a good call. That was a hold. He had his hand on the outside of the shoulder pad with jersey, and that's all it takes.
EJ under pressure, and he goes down at about the 5. First sack of the game.
Yeah, Josh McNary came untouched, and this is one of the things that's a little frustrating about EJ Manuel. Just throw it. And a guy like EJ trusts himself so much maybe to get loose from that, or break that tackle, that he thinks he might be able to make something happen. Just throw that football away.
Lobs that one. Complete. Boom Heron with that one.
Second charge timeout.
And a timeout. Stay connected with the Bills 24/7, courtesy of the official Bills mobile app. You can get breaking news and updates directly from the team. Download it now for free at buffalobills.com. And you look up top of your screen right now, our 1st and 10 technology, presented by Toyota. Let's go places. Third down has been rough territory for the Bills tonight. They're just 1 of 6, and they have 3rd and 11 deep in their own area. And the punt team's going to have to come out. EJ unable to get it with his legs.
Indianapolis will take their 3rd timeout.
It's 4th and 9. I'm not sure what EJ is still doing out there.
Yeah, I don't.
Get that huddle time now as long as you can, but the punt unit is starting to make its way out.
Yeah, this is where you want a guy like the Bills have, Colton Schmidt. I mean, the guy's got an enormous leg, and you're telling him, I want you to kick it over the scoreboard at the far end.
Well, the winds have died down a little bit, at least here at field level. The Flags on the goalpost are pretty limp, but if you go upstairs, the flags are still working.
Up top it's really blowing hard, but down inside it feels like a warm summer night.
There's the resume on Schmidt. 22 punts inside the 20 last season. His long 65 yards. This one's going to be short but tall. Fielded at the 38, and the special teams wraps up Bray within a few inches of receiving that one. Lorenzo Alexander down in the mix for that one. There is Schmidt, a wonderful weapon that the Bills possess.
Well, this franchise record, anytime, it used to be, it was unheard of for a player to have a net average over 40 yards in the NFL. To have a 41.3 is absolutely huge. He's averaging 54.4 today on 5 punts. The guy really is a weapon, and it's just little by little, special teams set your field position. When you've got a guy that consistently can launch it out there, it's an enormous advantage over the course of the season.
Colts going to start this one at their 39. Tolzien, good protection. Wide open is Smith. And a big pickup on first down. 45 seconds to go in the half. Indy driving to level this one up or maybe take the lead.
Yeah, this is well protected up front. It's a vanilla front, 4-man rush. Everybody else drops off, and those are, that's defense 101. And it looks like the Bills are just kind of backing off a little bit, playing. Really, that was a vanilla front with a 4-man straight ahead rush, and that's pretty easy for a young offensive line to sort through and protect.
Todman, the tailback. Instead, they go over the middle. Chase Kaufman, the Missouri product. One of many tight ends who are going to try and get some playing time behind Dwayne Allen with the reception. Johnson with the tackle. Colts quickly to the line. Under 30 to go here in the half. 2nd and 2. Flags. This one looks to be on Buffalo again.
Yeah, we've got an illegal procedure on this side.
A pretty good conversation going on right here. There might be some
dueling
penalties.
The offense has to set. If they twitch, it's on them no matter what. But it may be.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense number 75.
Yeah. What happens?
5-yard penalty results in a first down.
The offense can move after the defense has gotten into the neutral zone. So if they twitch up here and they move over here, it's okay. It's on the defense.
And it's on IK again.
Yeah, you see, they can move after they reach. Yeah, the offense can react to the defense's twitch into the neutral zone. If the defense stays on their own side of the ball, the offense has to stay set. But if they come across, the offense can move and draw the penalty.
Tolzien, end zone, almost intercepted. The coverage there by Seymour, who's had a wonderful first half.
That was well covered. He turned his hips, ran with the receiver. Right at the time, you'll watch, he's already looking for the football, as is the receiver. He's got great position. That's a bad throw by the quarterback. You don't want to throw that in there on that coverage. You got to throw it high and outside. Tolzien setting himself up for a huge mistake there by throwing that ball right at the defensive back.
Tavon Smith really bailed him out, broke up that interception attempt from Seymour. 2nd and 10, 16 seconds to go in the half. Tolzien is going to go right back at it. And this will be a flag, and this is going to be on Buffalo. And that's going to be on Seymour. Seymour looked a little gimpy after that attempted interception, and I think Indy might have seen it, saw it, and said, let's go right back at it. We have a Bills man down behind the line of scrimmage at about the 35 as well. Seymour's going to try and contest this one, but Rex is looking on at the injured man. I haven't seen a number yet.
Pass interference. Defense number 45. Spot foul. Automatic first down.
Jack Mewart is the man down for Buffalo. Here's another look at the interference.
They get tangled up there. That's not the penalty at the end. The flag was already kind of being pulled out at that point. So it must have been before at the end when they got tangled up.
And my bad, it's IK who is down.
Right here.
Oof. Yeah.
You see there,
That's right near her right ankle.
You know, you hate to, you can't speculate, but that doesn't.
This injury bug has been nasty for Rex Ryan this camp already. They lost Reggie Ragland, their second-round pick earlier this week. They had penciled him as a starter at linebacker.
Rex had penciled him as the defensive rookie in the defensive rookie of the year in the NFL. I mean, Rex had him all kinds of attributes. And that was, and a lot of other people said the same thing. Reggie Ragland was a real player for this club. He was not penciled in. The problem with this is with this. Reggie Ragland comes in and can play 3 downs as a linebacker. Can cover, can run and stuff the run, can do a lot of things, rush the passer if you wanted him to. He could do it all. The problem is now without him, you got to have like 3 guys to play as well as he did in each of those areas. And you start to get a little bit predictable, and that whichever guy's on the field, you know there are certain things he cannot do, and defense and offenses will attempt to take advantage of it.
This is a bad visual if you're a Buffalo fan right now. The cart has come out. Mike, can you add?
Yeah, with IK, you're right. They're taking him off on the cart now. Everybody hoping that he's okay. Back to your conversation about replacing Reggie Ragland. It's an interesting dynamic because you've got a rookie who's yet to play in an NFL game being replaced, and like Steve said, we're talking about a series of guys with an opportunity to replace him, but all with extensive experience in the NFL. You look at a guy like David Hawthorne's been around for 9 years. Zach Brown, 4 years, has a lot of speed, cover skills. They're looking for him to be tougher at the goal line. And then Brandon Spikes, that Bills fans remember well from a couple of years ago when he was here. So they all have experience. They all have strengths. They all have negatives. And that's why when Dennis Thurman talked about it, he said it may be a combination effort. They were so looking forward to Reggie Ragland. They have high hopes for him in the future, but it may be by committee this year as far as that linebacker position is concerned.
Well, D-line is going to be interesting as well.
Well, it all comes into the mix as well, because you start getting guys, all right, he's going to be our guy who covers tight ends down the middle, and this guy's going to be our guy on first and second down to stop the run, and this guy's going to be our guy when we have defenses called where he's going to rush the passer, and this guy, and then they all have to play not only just those few snaps on defense or whatever snaps they get, they also got to play special teams. You got to find a guy that can contribute on that front as well, because you can't keep a pure special teams linebacker to play behind Reggie Ragland now, and that hurts you even on special teams, kick coverage and all of that stuff. So it really is a ripple effect when you lose a player that you really were counting on to play 3 downs in your starting defense.
We see Albright there, number 49, an undrafted free agent out of Miami of Ohio. IK carted off. 10 seconds left. Indy without a timeout. 1st and goal from the 6. Tolzien again looking left. They've had a lot of success there as of late. Overthrew his target there.
With 10 seconds to go, now 5 seconds to go on a second down. You know, now they're going to force the field goal with Adam Vinatieri. You knew for sure that ball was going to be in the air as a defense, because they couldn't allow you to get tackled short of the goal line and then have the time run out. They're out of timeout. So here we come with Adam Vinatieri and a field goal attempt to tie the score up right at the half.
This one right in between 24 and 25 yards. We'll label it a 24-yarder. Just to tie things up. And Vinatieri does what he's done so often through his brilliant career. Strike it true. And that's the end of the half. 9-9. 9 unanswered points by the Colts to tie things up here at the break. Coming up next, it's the Northtown Automotive Group halftime show. We'll show you all the scoring plays. Break them down. Rex will be wired. We're going to hear from Rex once he leaves the locker room. 9-9. Buffalo, Indy at the break.
2016, Tyrod Taylor and the Buffalo Bills travel to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. It'll mark the return of Tyrod to Baltimore, where he played for the Ravens for 4 years after they drafted him from Virginia Tech in 2011. Games to watch presented by the UPS Store, your one-stop shop for all your small business needs. Visit theupsstore.com for locations.
There's certainly a lot of Rex Ryan themes through the opening 2 games, really, of the regular season for the Bills. Again, they open up at Baltimore, and then they host his old team, the New York Jets.
Yeah, there's a little bit of emotional baggage that first month of the season for those guys, but I'm sure they're all looking forward to it, and the players will probably rise up and help him play well, and play well for him.
Well, talking about Rex, let's hear from Rex. Here's his thoughts with Mike on the first half.
Rex, IK Inapoli, got any update for us?
Yeah, I'm not sure right now, but it looks like a major knee injury, so real unfortunate. But, you know, like I say, next man's got to step up.
From this first half, what'd you like, what did you not like?
Well, I love the way we started the game. You know, we kept 3 and out them on defense, doing a great job there. Communication was great. We're on top of everything, so it looked super. Offensively looked good. You know, good job holding up in protection, all that type of stuff. But you know, we've hurt ourselves. We run 2 trap plays, don't pull the guard. We had 2 drops on 3rd down. E.J. Manuel looks fantastic, but we're not helping him out at all. And then defensively, I mean, you got 4 offside penalties. You know, with the backup line, I get it. Guys are trying to make a job, but that's one way to get your ass run out of here. So we got to do a better job of that. 2 special teams penalties. You know, that was, we've talked about it all season. We're trying to do a much better job of that, and that's been disappointing to me.
All right, Rex, thanks very much. Rex Ryan not happy with a lot that he saw in the last part of that first half. We'll see what they do in the 3rd quarter, guys.
The honesty and emotion of Rex. Absolutely love it.
Yeah, it's, you don't have to wonder what he's trying to say.
No beating around the bush there. Leslie and Powell back to return the kickoff. Michael Pilardi is back to send it out for Indy. And we're underway here in the second half. Powell took a little hit there, got the 19, dropped at the 20. Cale McKay to be the first man on the scene. Going back to what Rex just said to Mike, you know, it's not often that a head coach will admit, quote, looks like a major knee injury, and if so, it's the second one in a span of just a few days. Reggie Ragland out for the season with a knee injury as well, and now it looks like the focus from the linebacker spot moves over to kind of the D-line, and IK could be gone as well.
The Bills come out with 2 tight ends to start the second half with E.J. Manuel, and it looks like the running game's going to take over this game.
Yeah, Jonathan Williams, a wonderful pickup on first down. That'll move the sticks.
Yeah, when you come out in a 2 tight end set, double tight end in the preseason, you know it's going to be maybe a run. You see a tight end here and a tight end here. You got all your, 10 of your 11 guys, or 10 of your 9 of your 11 guys are right there at the ball. They're going to hand it off and see what you can do, and that's a nice job by Williams to bounce that out and get what he can get.
Pick up a 14 for number 40. Williams stays in. Little with the grab there. Little's an interesting story, a product of the University of North Carolina. 54 career games, 32 starts. Big body. He's had moderate levels of success.
Well, he's had 3 seasons of 50 catches, and that's a guy who's got some experience. I mean, the game's not too big for him. So you wonder, why is he in Buffalo, and why a team like Cleveland let a guy like that get away? You wonder.
Another carry here from Williams. And another first down. Williams has been impressive.
Yeah, that was a nice run, another nice run. The guy's 223 pounds and can scoot. I mean, as you see here, he's got enough wheels, and he's got the ball in the wrong hand, Somebody's going to, NFL players will knock that out of his hand if he's got to get that in his off arm, and that's a detail. If he can snap off 14-yard runs, you can carry it in whatever arm you want.
He got 10 right there. James Wilder checks in. He's the tailback to the left of EJ. Batted down at the line of scrimmage.
EJ Manuel picking himself up off the ground. He took a shot from Antonio Morrison. You see there, that hurts.
Leonard Hankerson checking back in for the Bills. He had a couple drops in the first half. Looking to make amends. Greg Little, the wideout option on the right. Complete. EJ to Annan, the tight end. Rex hasn't been overly thrilled with the tight end play here at preseason, telling us there's been a lot of drops from that group. Charles Clay is the main guy, sitting this one out, getting some lower back issues with him.
When you talk about stereotypically with tight ends, it's hard to find a guy that can do everything well. You got one that can run block, you got one that can run good routes, you got one that can really catch, and then you got one that's can do all that, but he's too small to play, or he's an H-back or a fullback kind of guy. So it's hard to find a complete tight end. So you kind of piece together your core that way.
EJ lofting another one up, flag on the play, and again overthrows Little.
Yeah, this is going to be against the Colts. Glover right, Tay Glover right on the coverage there against Little. And this is going to be down the field.
Pass interference. Defense number 42. Spot foul. Automatic first down.
That's the exact penalty that the Bills were called against, or that the Colts received against the Bills. That gave him a chance to get in field goal range.
McClure whistled for that one. Another look. Little had him beat. So the opening drive of the second half will remain alive. Jonathan Williams, the tailback. Glenn Gronkowski, native of this area. Baby Gronk, back in at fullback. Fake the give to Williams. EJ hit as he throws. Complete.
He completes it to Gronkowski, but it's all he could do to snap it off the top of the grass.
Undrafted out of Kansas State.
Yeah, and there you see Williamsville. Never played in Ralph Wilson Stadium in high school. His team never quite made it to the championships they hold here every year.
But that's not to say he hasn't been here, and frequently.
Well, 50 games, he says,
right.
At least, that he's been in the stands as a fan.
Caught every home game of his senior year in high school as well. He's got about 30 to 40 relatives and fans here in attendance. A little dump off. Boom Heron inside the 20.
But yeah, I mean, you think about it. The Bills have got Jerome Felton on their roster and Glenn Gronkowski. Those are the two options for fullback. And how the mix of the roster and what those guys bring to the table, the coach are going to have to decide which one's best for long-term success at least this season. And it's a dying breed. That true fullback, you don't see those very often in the league anymore.
EJ is looking left all the way. Has his man! And then dropped it again. It's Hankerson.
Yeah, Leonard Hankerson's going to lay awake tonight and think about the 3 times he's dropped the football. Believe me, that I played a little. I practiced at wide receiver. I didn't really play that much. Those are the ones you think about. He could catch a touchdown now, but all he will think about are the plays that he dropped that could have made a difference.
Unfortunately, that's all Rex and his staff will be thinking about as well. Dan Carpenter on for his first field goal attempt. This one from 37 yards. And it is good. And the Bills retake the lead. They're up 12-9. Opening drive of the second half. 37-yard field goal from Carpenter. Buffalo back on top, 12-9. Rob Stone, Steve Tasker, Mike Catalana back here with you. Buffalo reclaiming the lead, up 12-9, courtesy of a field goal on their opening drive of the second half. Jordan Gay with that big leg on to kick it off. Be interesting to see how Rex handles that personnel decision. Will they keep Gay on essentially just to kick off?
Yeah, because I'll tell you what, Dan Carpenter is going to be the field goal kicker. He has been phenomenal in training camp.
This is a luxury.
No question.
But if it leads to touchback after touchback, you probably try and find a way to keep him on, and that's why big leg like that.
Well, there's a couple of ways to look at it. Yeah, there's a couple of ways to look at it. We've seen it as well tonight as well, but there's more to talk about that.
When we return, Indy back on offense from the 25. Buffalo, though, back on top, 12-9. We welcome you back to Ralph Wilson Stadium for now. New era just announced that they've taken over the naming rights here in Orchard Park. The Bills on top, 12-9. Indianapolis with a new quarterback at the helm. Stephen Morris, the product from the U, the University of Miami. He is on. Right now, Indy only 3 quarterbacks. Luck, Tolzien, and Morris. Luck did not suit up. Tolzien finishing 12 of 23, 140 yards and a touchdown. Stephen Morris on in relief. There's his vitals. Robert Turbin, the tailback. He's going to roll to his right. He's going to run it. One's out of bounds. Pickup of about 5. Bryson Albright there to force him out.
As the ball is nowadays coming out to the 25. We spoke just before the break about the kickoffs and whether Jordan Gay is a luxury a team can afford. And you think about the strategy of, and there's been a lot of talk about, everybody's just going to kick the ball out of the end zone. Not so. I mean, we saw it once here tonight where the Bills actually pooch kicked it or mortar kicked it where it's high and short, forcing somebody who doesn't really return the football to field it and then let the team take their chances. And there's a chance that something bad could happen, a turnover, or get them tackled inside the 20. And all that strategy is going to come into play on these kickoffs, particularly as you see him run into the line there. It all needs to be ironed out. It'll be interesting to see what teams feel like doing depending on who the returner is.
The future of the kickoff, very much in doubt.
This is what happened earlier. As you see the Bills kick off, and that's Jordan Gay hitting it. He hits it high, and you just can't run up there. Quan Bray runs up there, and they end up having it caught. That guy doesn't know what to do with it. That was Colt. That was Robert Turbin, the running back, who caught that kickoff, and that leads to all kinds of decisions to be made as that incompletion happens and the Colts will punt again. I think it's an interesting tactic that's going to cause some teams to have to make difficult choices at certain parts of games throughout the season, and the fact that it comes out to the 25, hey, you can tackle somebody in the under the 25 pretty easy if you give them a chance.
So Walter Powell again back to return this punt. We did see Reggie Bush in the first quarter try his hand at returns. So Powell at the 15. Slides to the right, grabs it at the 19. Out of bounds at about the 22. Stephon McClure forcing him out. Brief return for Powell. Buffalo back on the offense with a new quarterback when we return. Welcome back to Buffalo and welcome to your new third string quarterback, Buffalo fans, the Buckeye, Cardale Jones.
Yeah, and the one thing you'll see about Cardale Jones, in a league filled with guys that have strong arms, he'll eye pop. He's an eye popper. He's got maybe as strong an arm as anybody you can name in the NFL. I mean, the guy can sling it. Now, he may not be able to hit Lake Erie from the dock, but the guy can sling it and he can make things happen. And he has, and from what I've heard thus far in camp, he has worked extremely hard to be good and get better every day. So they like what he's doing.
No, they're not going to like that one. Mishandles the snap.
It's a process.
This is something that he's dealt with, adversity here throughout camp. Rex Ryan saying, nothing has fazed this guy. We got backup centers, we got backup linemen. Snaps are going here and there, and he'll come right back and just take out that bazooka of an arm and sling something. It's not bothering him.
Yeah, he said Rex Ryan's really noticed that about him. you're right. They have put him in. Let's face it, he's a third-string quarterback in training camp, so he's playing with guys that are as unschooled as he is at the pro level, and it has not fazed him a bit. He has continued to get better and better.
3rd and 12. Jones under center. Fakes the give to Wilder. Avoids a tackler. Slings one out. First down, Buffalo. Blake Annan with the grab. And Cardale moves the sticks.
And that throw is good. He stepped up inside the outside rush. The rush is going to come around the outside. He steps up inside it, doesn't let the contact get rid of him or distract him, and he puts it right on the money to Annan. You can see he's a big, big guy. And he's got a big, big arm, and right there was a very accurate.
Pick up a 13 to the 40. 1st and 10, Buffalo. Wilder going the wrong way there.
Yeah, that was Austin Blythe. Kind of got, I'm sorry, that's not Austin Blythe. That was Cyril Richardson down inside for the Bills at guard. Just could not get in front.
Lumpkin down for Indy right now. Again, the one major injury so far tonight, IK, with what Rex termed, quote, looks like a major knee injury, the late stages of the 2nd quarter.
And that's a position on that outside linebacker where they just don't have a lot of bodies right now. And it's a really difficult spot to play. Those guys are hard to find. When you find them, you know, they play for 10 years because, you know, they just don't come along every day. And their Bills are trying to hope IK and Impali can do it. They have a number of guys who they're running through that spot.
Well, the Bills brass has been busy.
Very
making
busy.
Pickups, bringing in guys like Hawthorne, bringing in guys like Spikes. Well, they may have to do it again. Jones back on the field when we return. Get back to Buffalo. Bills on top, 12-9. Here's what happened just before we left you as James Wilder Jr. was all wrapped up. No place to go, and he ends up going backwards. 2nd and 16. Cardale Jones, your 3rd-string QB, on for the Bills. Takes the shotgun and gets another completion.
Wow. That was a nice throw as well. I mean, he's got some velocity. Watch as he throws this. He turns on it, and that ball actually flutters a little bit. He didn't even have a tight spiral on it. It got out there well. That's a nice run by Powell. Good route. Kind of rounded it off at the top, but still with a good throw and on time, that's an easy completion.
Sets up a manageable 3rd and 2. He goes under center. Bills just 1 of 8 on 3rd down. Wilder, the tailback. They feed him. And he's going to get the 1st down. And a little extra. James Wilder Jr., the name certainly sounds familiar. His daddy, one heck of a pro, primarily with the Bucks.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, he was just a little before my time in the NFL, or just at my time. I was back in the late 80s and early 90s through that time. And you hear guys that played in that division against Tampa Bay with James Wilder, and it's one of the few guys I've ever heard guys whisper about. That's how good they thought he was.
Can't teach DNA.
Wow, he was a heck of a player.
They whisper about him.
Yeah, when they talk in whispered tones, you know they really respect the guy.
Well, what would they whisper?
He was the dude. They wanted no part of that guy. I mean, he was a great running back and was a physical guy who was also, you know, just a hard-nosed, tough guy that would, you know, outrun you, make you miss, and run you over. So it's interesting to see his son, who, you know, has that size and does a lot of things very well out of the backfield.
His son obviously knows his way around the weight room. 2nd and 11. About 5.5 left in the 3rd. Opening preseason game for both Buffalo and Indy. Cardale flushed out. See what you got, young man. Across the 45. And rule him out at the 43.
Well, that's the thing. You see Cardell, he's laughing, having fun. I mean, that's the kind of guy he is. He's very poised. Nothing's too big for him. He tucks it very early, picks it up, and, you know, for a big guy, the smartest thing he does is get out of bounds, because as big as you are, it still hurts, and if you're a quarterback, you're more valuable on your feet than you are running somebody over.
You mentioned that smile, Rex, saying to us he's having fun out there. In every practice, he makes one of those holy cow type plays. 3rd and 4. Does he have a holy cow moment here? No, he does not. Intended, if you will, for Kane Colton. That one sails high, and the punt team comes on for Buffalo.
From the Indianapolis 42-yard line, Colton Schmidt in punt formation.
Chester Rogers back to receive this one. We'll see if Colton can pin him.
Well, this ball should be over the top of the stadium and drop it inside the 10.
Well, it'll be inside the 20, right at about the 16.
Yeah, he's got to be disappointed in that. But that was a good kick and productive, but he wants another 10 yards out of that.
No return for Rogers. Indy back on offense when we return. Only scoring this half, Dan Carpenter, a 37-yard field goal. Buffalo on top, 12-9. Time now for your Snapple. Real fact. Last season, the Bills, +6 turnover ratio, best since '07.
Well, that was good for a tie for 9th in the National Football League. And anytime you're plus, you're playing pretty good. And I think I'll tell you, it's on both sides. It's a whole team. The plus minus, you don't turn it over yourselves, and you're also able to get turnovers. And that's something I think that number, more than any other, will be improved this year for the Bills.
Bills on defense. We're going to hear from Tyrod Taylor in just a second. Morris flushed out, still on his feet, crosses the 20, out of bounds at about the 21. Let's go downstairs. Mike standing by with the new money man, Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah, we've got the quarterback with us, Tyrod Taylor. You get the deal done, your family in town. What's these last couple of days been like for you?
It's been truly a blessing. But it's football season, so I'm focusing on doing whatever I got to do to help this team win games, and just trying to get better each and every day.
You talk about what you need to do. Rex Ryan was talking to us about the team having some individual meetings, players-only meetings, and you run part of that for the offense. Can you talk a little bit about what that is and what that does for the team?
Yeah, Coach Rex Ryan does a good job of letting us rest our bodies in training camp. We have some time in the evening, some free time, but I thought it would be good for us to get on the same page with the receivers as far as the skill guys go, and do our own meetings, open communication. That way we could just talk through different concepts, different schemes, and try to correct some of the mistakes that we had in practice, and just try to get on the same page and be better.
How has that been for you to be able to lead those meetings?
I mean, it's been awesome. I mean, we have, of course, full attendance, but being up there and basically being the coach, running the film and just getting everybody's input, it definitely it opens the line of communication for players to talk, and it just helps with getting everybody on the same page. That way we can go out there and make plays the next year.
Yeah, making sure there's no plays made here on the sidelines while we're talking to you. We know about Sammy, we know about Robert Woods, but Marquise Goodwin at camp has been fantastic.
Yes.
What would it be like to have Marquise really be able to contribute this year?
It'd be real good for us as a team. We know the type of speed that he brings. He's just an all-around athlete, and the more that we can get the ball in his hands, those are big plays because he's so fast. He could take the top off the defense. So he's definitely going to be a big part of our offense. Looking forward to using him this year.
And one last thing. Obviously, we've seen EJ play. We know your game. We're getting to see Cardell a little bit. What can we expect out of this young guy?
All three of us are different. But, I mean, the main thing is that we go out there and execute the offense. He had a couple good throws so far, and looking for him to take the team down the field and score. That's what we expect in our quarterback room, and it's our job to go out there and do it. But I'm excited to watch him play.
All right, great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, Tyrod Taylor, Bills' #1 quarterback. Back up to you guys.
6-year deal, around $90 million he signed yesterday. Some outs built into it for the club as well.
And some incentives built in for him.
And some incentives, yeah. So both parties, it felt a little bit like a win-win. Is he the quarterback of the future or the quarterback of right now that you can see as a long-term solution
here? Oh, I
think
so, yeah. I think he is. And I think it's interesting both he and his teammates, he bet on himself. I mean, there's no question if he plays well, he's going to be compensated handsomely. But it also because of the safeguards the club has in case things don't go well or if all that, he knows he's got to play. He's got to play hard every year. And I tell you what, I love the deal for both sides. I love it for Tyrod, what it says about him, how it compensates him for what he's done and what he's going to do, and gives him some motivation to continue down that road of success. So I think it's a brilliant contract for both sides.
2nd and 18 for Indy. I want to hit one more point here on Tyrod after this play. Stephen Morris from the shotgun. Quick strike behind the intended target, McKay. Mike touched on these player-only meetings that have developed here at camp, not really forced by any stretch. And we asked Rex, is this something that's going to continue? Is this going to be something that is going to go on through the course of the season as Taylor checks some video plays right now? I saw your eyes raise a little bit when you heard that this was something that was happening already in year 2 with Rex.
Yeah, it's huge. To have a player, particularly a quarterback like that, start to run meetings. Greg Roman spoke about it as well, that we just started letting Tyrod run this meeting, and it says a lot about not only Tyrod, but where the offense and team is right now. As you see that play almost go for a first down, they're going to come up short.
That was on 3rd and 18. You see Hawthorne having some issues popping up. The punt team will come on now for Indy as we take a look at this play.
That's Hawthorne right there. And they're taking him off the field right now, Hawthorne.
And a lot of injuries so far for Buffalo through the camp.
But those quarterback meetings that are run by Tyrod, some of the best quarterbacks in the league do that exact thing. And to have Tyrod to be that well versed in the offense and to have that much confidence in front of those guys to run that meeting says a lot of really good things about where this team is at offensively.
Defensive side having meetings as well, and it's been one of those things with Tyrod, showing his growth, his comfortable, he's being more vocal, more of a leader this year. Join us at One Bills Drive next Saturday, the 20th. It's Kids Day. You expect a big crowd for that one, don't you? As always, it's presented by Independent Health. Special giveaways, interactive games, prizes, much, much more. Bring yourself, bring your kids. For the tickets, head on over to buffalobills.com. You can also call 1-877-BB-TICKS to reserve your seats today. Again, that is next Saturday. The Giants in town for that one. Jones under center. Wilder, the tailback. Cardale sacked at the 13.
Yeah, this is going to come off right here, working against
Chris Martin, number 62.
Chris Martin. He gets the spin move. It looked like he just got a little bit of a hesitation spin to the outside, and that caught Chris Martin a little bit flat-footed.
Should be the final play of the third. Jones across the middle. He's had success there. Finds Nick O'Leary, the FSU product. So 2 big-time college programs hooking up there. Ohio State to Florida State. 3 quarters in the book. 1 more to go. Bills on top. 12-9. 4th quarter when our live coverage from the Ralph returns. 15 punts, 2 touchdowns, 1 safety, 1 field goal through 3. It is 12-9 for Buffalo. The Bills outgaining Indy 216 to 179. Cardale Jones, your new 3rd-string quarterback, on the field.
With a couple of completions, he's set the Bills up in 3rd and short after a 2nd and very long. He's done that a couple of series in a row now. We'll see if he can convert this 3rd and 3.
Jones, wide open. First down. Greg Little the grab.
Yeah, Craig Little, 6'2", 220. He's a big body. Cardale Jones feels the pressure, buys himself some time, tucks it, and then pulls it back out. When he tucked it, the defensive back ran to the line of scrimmage and dropped coverage, thinking Cardale Jones was going to run with the football, and dropped his coverage to let Greg Little uncovered. So, you know, Cardale Jones both uncovered the receiver and then hit him with the football. That was a great play.
Pickup of 15. O'Leary in motion, stops on the left, the give to Wilder. Wilder trying to get around the left, and he does! Flag on the play. Well, James Wilder Jr., he needed something positive. He's had no openings, no holes, and it looks like this one.
This is coming back.
It's coming back.
Holding. Offense number 48. 10-yard penalty for the spot of the foul. Repeat first down.
8th penalty on Buffalo.
Yep. Glenn Gronkowski with the hold. 8th penalty for 73 yards. I don't know how that's not a hold on Gronkowski. That's a bad call. I didn't see it.
Don't anger the Gronkowski family, by the way. You don't.
I'm on their side on this. In this case, I'm on their side.
I'm talking the officials.
Oh,
you want Team Gronk on your side in all cases. Particularly if they're planning social activities. High snap. Cardale handles it well. Finds Wilder. Stops. Avoids one tackle. Kid's athletic. And he's got a shot. He's got a real good shot to make this team. Our 1st and 10 technology. It is presented by Toyota. Let's go places.
So I tell you that Cardale Jones, for whatever deficiencies he has, and a lot of us will never know whether it's the playbook, whether it's his poise or whatever, he has looked like a guy who belongs. There was a big question. It was a big question mark. He was no question a roll of the dice as a quarterback in the world where every major college and every great quarterback in college is a big story. Cardale snuck into Buffalo, basically.
5th round pick. O'Leary has it to the 40.
I got to tell you, he's as impressive as anybody else on the field tonight in his first game in live NFL action. He's made a nice touch throw here. He's got great poise in the pocket. He obviously runs with the football well. The play he made a few plays ago where he tucked it and then pulled it back out and made the touch pass for the first down. That's why he's here.
Pickup of 25. Jones 6 of 7 for 83 yards already. Wilder. Maybe the line of scrimmage.
You know, it's interesting because the fans are going to do this on talk radio and on Twitter and all the social media. They're going to compare E.J. Manuel and Cardale Jones. Who's number 2, who's number 1? And if you look at their numbers, and E.J. Manuel had the touchdown throw tonight, ran the offense extremely efficiently when he was in there. But Cardale Jones does something E.J. Manuel hasn't done in his career here in Buffalo yet. He looks comfortable. When he has the ball, no matter what happens around him, whether he's getting rushed, whether he takes a sack or makes a play, he looks comfortable. And E.J. at times has looked anything but.
Wilder another carry. More productive there. He gets to the 35 with the stretch. So reading between the lines with the Bills, the plan, E.J.'s number 2. Cardale, number 3. Really don't want him to see the field. That's not a knock. That's just the hope. We want Tyrod to be the guy.
Every team's that way.
And bring him around. But, and I know it's a small window that we've seen, all of a sudden you might be saying to yourself, I'm a little more comfortable should we're forced to push him into action. Again, he's going against 3rd stringers, and he's looking for a touchdown right now. In and out of the hands of his tight ends.
And once again, you see the strength of his arm. I mean, he flicks this down there. The ball seems it's an almost effortless motion. And that was a tough throw there.
Too tall for Anna. He doesn't seem phased when under duress in the pocket either, because you get the sense that he knows it's going to take a lot to bring him down.
Well, when you're that big, I mean, it's not like too much in your growing up phase ever hurt you.
Yeah. 53-yard field goal attempt here from Carpenter. He's already connected from 37.
I mean, missed that one.
A rare miss for Dan Carpenter.
That ball came out low. I don't know about that. That was an unusual kick. I'd like to hear the story behind that one.
Buffalo still up 3 here in the 4th. Take a look now at our Geico spotlight of the game. Let's focus on one of the big boys down low.
There's Cyrus Quanjo working against Earl Okine. Okine was on the practice squad for a while with the Colts last year, working here against Quanjo and then against Bates. So Quanjo, actually, you look at all these plays, he more than held up. And Rex Ryan told us during the week he's playing much better on the left side than he did on the right side, and those highlights right there were proof of it. He held up extremely well over those at that rush and did it by himself for most of the first half.
The thing about Quanjo, you'll look at a player on the opposite side and say, man, that guy's huge. And then Quanjo will step next to him and go, not anymore. Quanjo's a monster. I mean, he's WWE material. 6'7", 322 out of Alabama.
Yeah, he doesn't just stand out in a crowd. He's a crowd by himself. And they want him to, he's going to be a guy that's going to back up Cordy Glenn at left tackle, and it looks like he's going to back up Mills at right tackle.
People were starting to murmur bust around him. I think he's busted through that opinion right now. Morris almost dragged down, hit as he releases it, and this one could be picked, and almost.
Both guys had their hands on that one.
Jonathan Dowling thought he might have had the interception.
You see there, Stanby and Dowling both thought they might come down with that one.
3rd and 10. Colts held to just 3 for 11 on 3rd down conversions.
Now, this is not a straight 4-man front. The Bills are doing something exotic up front as they move around. So it's a blitz.
Complete, 1st down and more. Rodgers avoids the tackle, spins away and finds 6.
Well, Sterling Moore had the coverage and he missed a tackle, and that led to the touchdown. You know that you're going to be on an island by yourself when they're sending the blitz. You're going to be all alone. You see all the guys on the field are right there around the ball. That missed tackle is catastrophic. And I'll tell you what, you think about it too, as Carpenter just missed the field goal, they go from being up 6 to now down 3, and a field goal doesn't help them win the game now with this extra point. So all those things go into the mix. One missed tackle, and everything changes.
Winning the game is priority number 1 for Rex. He mentioned that to us the other day, but not a win at all cost type scenario. Vinatieri on. Vinatieri good. 3 plays, 57 yards in 26 seconds. A 57-yard scoring play to Rodgers, and Indy on top for the first time tonight. Your Independent Health game changer. Independent Health, you deserve the red shirt treatment. This is a no-brainer on the Bills side.
Yeah, Chris Gregg with the block punt early on to set the Bills up for their next series. Gives them 2 points right off the bat, and then he tacks on another 6 point with the touchdown reception on the ensuing possession. Great job by Chris Gregg. Got the Bills off to an enormous start.
Remember, the Bills up 9-0 at the end of the first quarter. Up 12-9 at the end of the third. And this their first deficit, 16-12. Indy with the lead. Chester Rogers with a 57-yard touchdown reception. Once again, it's Walter Powell back. Takes it up to 3. To the 20. And he'll be marked down. Late flag comes flying in. He'll be marked down just shy of the 25. Edwin Jackson with the tackle. We'll listen to the call here, but well, man down on the field actually for Indianapolis as well. Got a break here. Let's go downstairs. Mike standing by with linebacker Preston Brown. Mike?
Yeah, Preston, a lot's been made this year about communication with the defense. How much different is it this year?
It's 10 times better. I mean, the way DT and those guys are getting the plays in is outstanding, and I'm relaying to the guys and making sure we know what we're doing. So it's been 10 times better.
And you've added Rob Ryan, and I know he works with the linebackers a lot. What's it been like to have Rob around?
Oh, it's great. I mean, to have him around, I mean, he's such a great football mind. To have that guy around is just unlimited knowledge. You just try to feed off of that guy, so it's great to have him with us.
Now, you've mentioned the coaches, but we talked to Tyrod about this earlier. Players-only meetings in the evening. Defensively, what are those like for you guys?
Oh, they're good. It's a time where the coaches go away, so guys aren't scared to ask questions. You just get everything out. So sometimes it just be linebackers, DBs, and D-line meet separately, but we get all together some days and we get it all out, talk, go over formations and plays, and just know what to do because we're the ones out there playing.
And you're also the one making a lot of calls. You seem to be more vocal this year. Is that a fair assessment of what we're hearing out of you this year?
Probably. I mean, they told me I needed to be. So if a coach tells me to do something, I'm going to do it. So if I want to be here, I'm going to be vocal and make sure guys know what to do.
And what can we expect out of this defense? The beginning of the game, obviously you guys got a lot of pressure early on. What can we expect out of this defense this year?
Hopefully great. That's what we want to be. We want to be a great defense. And with the coaches we have and the players we have no option but to be great.
Injuries have been a problem. How do you guys look past that? What do you do? Everybody says next man up, next man up. How do you look past those?
I mean, it gets tough at times and you lose some really key players. But like you said, it's next man up. It's NFL. Everybody's a top player in the world. So hopefully we go in and step in and make good plays.
All right, best of luck this year.
All right, thank you.
Preston Brown, Bills linebacker.
All right, Mike, thank you. Cardale Jones facing 2nd and 10. The give to Herron. That's a Buckeye to a Buckeye. Boom with a couple.
Now as this game winds down, you've got a number of new offensive linemen in the game. Marquise Lucas, Justin Renfro in there, along with Robert Kugler, a local guy here from Orchard Park. Came out of Purdue. His dad used to coach the Bills offensive line a few years ago, and now he's here wearing the charging Buffalo on his helmet.
Bills 3 of 12 on 3rd down. This is 3rd and 7. Jones from the gun. Good protection. They're going big. Too big. Jared Boykin, the intended target. Flag on the play.
Roughing the passer. Defense number 64. Low hit on the quarterback. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Well, you don't want to see that, and that's one of the reasons you like having a big quarterback so he can take these kind of things, and that's not good. I mean, that's going low and then going over the top, and that's a good call by the official.
Thank you. Kelsey Corals was the first one there on the scene for Indy on the infraction, hitting Jones. So first down for Buffalo at the 30. Jonathan Williams back in at tailback. He's been impressive, the rookie from Arkansas. Fake the give to him. Jones again going deep. Hankerson, the intended target. Bills individual game tickets, they are now available for select games. Visit buffalobills.com or call 1-877-BB-TICKS to reserve your seats today. The home opener taking on the Jets on the 15th.
Thursday night.
10 days later, Arizona in town. 3 West Coast trips this year for Buffalo, LA, Seattle, and Oakland. A lot of travel for Buffalo this year. Jones zips that one in, complete.
And once again on a 2nd and long, Cardale Jones completes a pass that gives him a chance on 3rd down. You'll watch it. This is just a run out, turn around. I'm going to put this ball in your stomach. And the only way you drop those is if you forget to hold your breath because it knocks the wind out of you.
Powell the grab. Jones now 7 for 11, 91 yards. No picks, no touchdowns. Boom Herron. Nowhere to go on 3rd down. Punt team trots out for Buffalo.
Yeah, this is penetration's always the crusher. You get penetration, you see there's McGill jumps through. And that's what does it. I mean, if you can get interior line, which is why Kyle Williams and Marcel Darius are so effective down inside. If you get penetration on any run play, that's your run defense. And McGill got it done against the Bills on that third down.
Schmidt back on to punt. And Andre DeBose on for Indy to return this one, if there is a return. And there will be one. Steps up to the 25 to field it across the 30. Scampers outside for a few more. Another flag on the play. 39-yard punt, 7-yard return.
Player out of bounds on the punt. Kicking team number 15. 5-yard penalty from the end of the run. Indianapolis keeps the ball. First down. Timeout.
10th penalty of the game for Buffalo for 91 yards. Rex will not be happy. Probably not thrilled with the scoreline right now either. Opening preseason game for both Indy and Buffalo, and the Colts on top for the first time tonight. 16-12, 8 minutes left to play. Club Buffalo Bills connects young fans with the Bills in a safe and fun environment. Build your own avatar. Test your Bills knowledge. Earn badges to unlock special features. It is now available on Android and iOS devices. Club Buffalo Bills. Always nice as a parent to know your child is off to a safe and fun environment with technology. Trey Williams, the tailback. He'll get a carry. Avoids one tackler and a second and a stiff arm and out at the 40.
Yeah, that was about 2 or 3 missed tackles, and he did a nice job of avoiding all of those problems. That was a really nice run. This little jump step and then a step out and a stiff arm. That's about 3 or 4 things a running back's got to do, and he did all 3 of them on one play, and he did them very well.
Trying to enter his 3rd year in the NFL, product of Texas A&M. Again, they're really trying to figure out their running game in Indy. Frank Gore is your starter. After that, Todman, Turbin, Ferguson, and maybe Trey Williams. Chase Kaufman in motion. Play action. Morris. Pretty good looking play there. McKay the grab, the rookie out of Cincinnati.
Yeah, this tonight, watch this. Is this guy, that tight end just got blown up at the end of the line of scrimmage. He was supposed to be out in the flat, and he got leveled by Eric Stryker. You don't have to cover him if he's on the ground. Stryker came in to close down on the trap play, and that tight end's going to remember that one. That was a nice play by Stryker.
Yeah, Stryker mentioning during camp, quote, blitzing is in my blood. He also learned about the heritage of the Buffalo wing, finally.
They all need to learn that at some point.
As a college kid growing up in the Northeast, you had no choice. You came across wings at some point in your life.
Absolutely. Yeah, and if you're going to play football in this town, you need to know that stuff.
The First and 10 technology, it is presented by Toyota. Let's go places. Morris, the second quarterback for Indy tonight. He's 4 of 8, 94 yards, and that long touchdown play. Hands that one off to Trey Williams. Williams goes back to try to go forward, and then surrounded by guys in white at the line of scrimmage. Stryker was there again. Stryker moved from inside to outside, the linebacker spot.
Well, he's going to be, this is in right here, and he's going to come down and try and get in here. Watch these players rally and shut it off in here. He's going to try and bounce out, and there's just nowhere to run as the Bills rally to this football. Great job right on the edge by Vales.
3rd and 8. Buffalo trying to get the ball back to their offense. Flag on the play. This one will be short. Let's see who the penalty is on. And then another late one gets thrown in.
Yeah, Seamster might be called for throwing the guy out of bounds late, and that'll take precedent over everything.
Seamster awaiting the call, as are we.
Well, they were going to be short of the first down, no question about it. There was a penalty on the Colts, illegal contact against the Colts, and now Rex is telling them we'll take that penalty.
Pass interference, offense number 2. 10-yard penalty, repeat third down.
And there was no call against Seamster late.
But he was sweating it out, though.
Yeah, watch this. This block right here is holding. You can't do that when the ball is in the air or when you're in the backfield. I'm not exactly sure where that flag came late, so I don't know if they called it as the ball was in the air or after the play, or if it was a hold or whatever. So that's hard to see on that replay, but nevertheless, that's a big penalty.
6th Indianapolis penalty for 70 yards. 3rd and 18, 5 minutes left to go in this one. Morris across the middle. To the 40 is Williams, and the punt team.
That may give them a chance at a field goal, a 58-yarder. No, they're going to punt it. I don't know. I might. Okay, moved it back. It'd be a 59-yarder. Adam Vinatieri, I don't think, has that anymore.
And if he does, why burn it in the preseason?
But just to get it on film so they know. I don't know. You're right, but
this one lofted over the head of Powell. Takes a tempting bounce.
Another great job by Powell. He faked the catch, and they had to stop to cover him to make sure he didn't catch it and run with it. He let the ball go into the end zone. That little hesitation by the coverage team, not knowing what he was doing, set him up for the touchback.
4:14 to go. Buffalo back on offense, trying to reclaim the lead. McDonald's rush of the game, get the Buffalo Bills bacon rush at McDonald's. Mike Gillisley.
3 carries for 25. That was a 20-yarder right there. Quanjo gets the edge on the defense, and Gillisley opens it up for a 20-yard run, finishes it off. Nice job. We said at the time, this is a guy that can really scoot when he gets the ball in his hands, and every team loves it. The faster you are, the better. The bigger and faster you are, the better.
Buffalo's leading rusher tonight, Jonathan Williams, 7 carries, 42 yards, and he's in the backfield right now with Jones. The rookie, Cardale Jones, steps up. He's got room to run to the 30, and a first down for Buffalo. Marked down at the 33 with the keeper.
Well, you're going to see this as the defense is going to come up. The offensive line is going to take the defense all out here, and Cardale Jones is going to see it and come right down the middle of the defense as the offensive line moves the defense all the way out, and you can see it opens up, and there's just nobody home. Great job by Jones to get up the middle.
Jones throws that one away.
Yeah, see, I'm with Cardale on that one. The young receivers have a hard time going off the page. First of all, they line up and they're just worried about running the right route. Well, once they try and run the right route, whether they do or not, they have a real hard time when they look back and Cardale Jones broke and contained, they don't know what to do. On that play, Jones bought all kinds of time, and none of the receivers were working hard to get open to an area. He can hit any spot on the field that they can run to. They've got to work harder to get open for him.
O'Leary in motion and then drops back. Williams the carry. Maybe to the 36.
2-yard gain on the play.
That'll bring up about 3rd and 8.
And this is the longest third down Cardale Jones has faced. I mean, he's had a couple of 3rd and 3s, and they haven't converted all of them, or very many of them at all. The Bills have not been good on 3rd down tonight.
Clock continues to roll. We're at 3 minutes here and some confusion in the huddle. Cardale is having problems finding this play, it looked like.
Yeah, he's going to run out of time. 7 seconds on the play clock. They might call a timeout. No, they got it off.
Just in time. And it'll be a completion. Gary Chambers, the rookie out of Arizona State, That's going to set up 4th and about 3 after the pickup of 5.
This is the rest of the preseason as it lines up. Next week, a week from tonight, the New York Giants will be here in town. That's Kids Night. That's a 4 p.m. game. Of course, then the team will go on the road 2 straight weeks at Washington, D.C. And then they'll take on, as they always have during my tenure in Buffalo, the Detroit Lions.
All those games live on the Bills television network. So Jones trots back on for this 4th down opportunity, and it really is. It's an opportunity here.
There's a lot to like about what Cardale Jones has done tonight, and I like the fact they're going to try and go for it. With 2:35 left, why not? You're down 4. You're going to need 2 possessions even if you get a field goal. If you can't settle for it, you got to go for it. I think this is a great move, and it's a preseason. Make it hard on yourself.
It's Lofton. He's got big thoughts in there. There might be a flag on this one.
Oh, I can't believe they didn't call that flag. Oh, I thought he got tackled.
Looking for Kane Coulter.
Coulter was open and had the ball on his fingertips, but it looked like the guy was tackling him before the ball got there. Watch here. He's being covered by Frankie Williams. You see there.
Yeah, Williams tripped up and then tripped into him.
See, he swipes him, and that's a penalty. And that's a bang play. I get it, but that's a penalty to me.
It looks like something Coulter might have even been able to still come up with.
Yeah, he still wanted to make that catch. That's the best deep throw that Cardale Jones has made all night. Now, he's overthrown a lot of guys and hasn't been accurate on those deep throws. That, on the other hand, was one you'd like to have your guy catch.
So they turn it over to Indy now. 2:27 to go. Morris will hand that one off. Williams. He goes down at the 45.
Well, if you're going to win this game, if you're the Buffalo Bills on 2:18 and counting as they take their time out, you're going to need a fumble. There hasn't been a turnover in this game. So in that respect, it's been really clean on both sides of the football. But then you look, if you're going to talk about a clean game, the Bills have got umpteen penalties.
10 penalties for 91 yards. That is going to be something that sticks in that man's craw for a little while, or at least until next Saturday. Chuck Pagano and New Orleans trying to get out of Buffalo with a preseason win. Remember, they were supposed to open up the preseason campaign last weekend. Field unplayable at the Hall of Fame game versus Green Bay. So they went back to practice, went back to hitting each other. And now they've got a 4-point lead. Tyrod Taylor and A.J. Manuel, 1 and 2 on the depth chart. Do you think there's an elevated level of expectations that maybe aren't realistic for Tyrod now that he signed this big long-term deal?
Well, that's interesting. That's an interesting thought.
Morris slides.
Oh, that's a flag.
And yeah, all kinds of yellow rains upon Morris.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Randall Johnson, the FAU product, number 58.
Personal foul. Defense number 58. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
And that ends the game, basically. I mean, that's a first down, gets them to the 2-minute warning, and they'll start the clock after this penalty, or they should start the clock after the penalty because it was on the defense.
11th penalty. Back to your thoughts, though, on the contract for Tyrod that he signed yesterday and what it means for him and this franchise. I mean, obviously, you know, with a big contract, years and money, people are going to have elevated expectations.
Well, I think the biggest expectation is to make sure he's on the field every week. You know, I think that last year he played well when he was in there, no question, and he did a lot of good things. But he was out for a couple of games, and he was you know, not 100% for a couple of others because of his ability to run the football and his taking advantage of it. But it lays him out there for some risk. If he wants to be an elite quarterback, he's got to be available. And I think that's the biggest thing. If you're paying a guy, you want him on the field.
2-minute warning. Bills down 4. Bob Stone, Steve Tasker, Mike Catalana back here with you. The Bills down to their final 2 minutes and down 4 points, and on their heels as Indy is driving with the ball right at about the 20. The bad news is this is looking like a loss for Buffalo. The good news, they have a quarterback that they consider a franchise quarterback right now.
We just said before the break, I said, you know, the most important thing is for him to be healthy and be available, obviously, because if he plays poorly, it's a moot point anyway. Because of the way their contract is structured, nobody's married to this contract for the entire length of it. And because of that, I think there's no question if he plays well, he'll be rewarded. And if he doesn't, the Bills are not out. You know, they're on the hook to kill their cap for the next half dozen years.
Manageable buyouts, maybe not under terms that you and I would look at. But for an NFL franchise, you're saying to yourself, oh, this one has been handled pretty well.
And I think he's shown enough consistency, plus through his work. And this club, believe me, they don't just evaluate him between the lines. Now, this is a guy that shows up at 6 a.m. every morning and leaves at 7:30 at night. And there's nobody twisting his arm. I mean, it's him. Plus, he brought a group of receivers out to L.A. this offseason to work with them on his own to get used to them, because they were guys who have a really good shot at making this club. He's doing a lot of things that elite quarterbacks do. Now, I'm not saying he's elite or can be considered that yet, but when you do those things, certain other things follow, and certainly a contract is one of them.
20 touchdowns, 6 interceptions last year. So what does he need to do to be that elite guy? Is it as simple as wins and losses?
Well, if you want to talk about statistics, I think his completion percentage needs to be close to 70.
Okay.
And that touchdown to interception ratio is great. Even if it went up to 28 or 30 to 9 or 10 interceptions, you can live with that. You can live with that. And that's, I think, something that I think the more on the good, because with a defense like this, another year in this defense, he's going to get help on the other side of the football that he didn't have a year ago. And I think that ratio, if he can keep that 20-6 ratio, that's more than 3-1. That's where you want to be. And if 30 touchdowns to 10 interceptions, or even better, or 9 interceptions, that's a great year. And that'll put him up around 4,000 yards as well with a 70% completion.
38-yard field goal attempt is good by Indy. So they extend the lead to 7 right now. 1:08, a lot of time left on the clock.
Yeah,
Welcome to your 2-minute drill, rookie.
It's really exciting to think about this. Now, Cardale Jones, you want to talk about somebody that's a refreshing surprise for a rookie quarterback. I think Cardale Jones has been that tonight for the Bills. In his first appearances, he has looked like the guy who's been there before. And this guy's taken less than, 20, 25 snaps now in his NFL career, and he fits in. I don't think there's any question about it. I think it's been intriguing to watch him. It's fun to think about where his career might take him. Certainly, he's not going anywhere this year with a game like this, unless something happens in the next 3 weeks that is absolutely contrary to what we've seen tonight. Cardale Jones is going to be a Buffalo Bill for the foreseeable future.
Might turn out to be one of the bigger steals of the draft. Went in the 5th round, number 139 overall. 5th quarterback drafted since Jim Kelly retired. 2 of those quarterbacks drafted came in the 1st round. Neither of them worked out.
Well, it's better to be drafted as a quarterback in the 5th round. Forget about the money. You don't have much pressure as a 5th rounder. You don't get plugged into a team that has 3-13 talent and expected to win games. And Cardale Jones is in a perfect position.
Howell's going to take it out of the end zone a couple yards deep and had to put on the brakes at the 15, and he's dropped at the 17. Long drive coming up for the rookie Cardale Jones, who trots out, the 3rd quarterback to play tonight for Buffalo. Jones, 11-0 as a starter at Ohio State, led them to a national title tonight. 8 of 14, 96 yards, also rushed it for 22 yards here in his pro debut. He had the tendency earlier tonight to overthrow. Looks like, though, he's starting to dial things in a little bit more.
Yeah, he took a couple of good hits as well and actually got better after he got hit.
Jones from the gun. Drops one in. First down. Jarrett Boykin, the grab. Boykin spent the last 3 seasons with Green Bay fighting hard for a roster spot, and that'll move the chains a nice chunk as we're under a minute to go.
Yeah, and I'd like to see his feet on this. Yeah, that's a good toe drag. That's an excellent catch. Great job by Boykin.
Jones now 9 of 15 for 118 yards. No timeouts though, 57 seconds, and they need a touchdown. Almost picked off, underthrew Boykin.
Yeah, that was a bad throw by Cardale. Good decision, a little bit late and not enough on this throw. We see it, he kind of throws it flat-footed, and he can't get enough on it. If he had stepped into that and maybe put it on a rope, he might have gotten there before the defensive back. See there, the defensive back had a chance to get back underneath it.
Winston Rose almost with the interception there. So another chance. 2nd and 10 from the 39. Jones stepped into that one, and in traffic has a completion. And may have had an opportunity to split the defenders. Howe has been active on returns, and a big grab there, taken down at the 21.
Clock's running. Cardale Jones going to spike this ball, stop the clock. And now we've got a chance. 27 seconds left. 2nd and 10 on the 21-yard line of the Colts. And this is a step up and a rocket, and great catch by Powell on the hard square in. Should have been a penalty there as well on the Colts holding in the secondary underneath that route.
41-yard pickup.
That's the big play of the night for the Bills. It sets them up to maybe pull this game out.
10 of 18 is Jones, over 100 yards.
And you know Rex Ryan will, if they do score, he will go for 2. Just out of bounds.
Had Hankerson. A little too much loft on that one. Ran out of real estate.
Yeah, just a little late on the recognition, just a little bit too much air on the football, but it was within a hair's breadth of being another incompletion out of bounds to stop the clock as well.
.22 seconds left. Down 7.
7 on the play clock, 5 on the play clock.
Gets it off. Goes to the end zone, overthrew his man. Will there be a flag this time? No. Again, he was looking for Coulter. I don't think Coulter had a shot at pulling that one in.
Well, that's what they
anyways.
said. The official gave the over the head. It was an uncatchable football. That's why the contact wasn't going to be called. That ball, he landed on the 2 or the 3 yard line. That ball was 6 or 7 yards deep in the end zone.
So Cardale now 10 of 20 for 158. 4th and 10. They must get it to about the 11-yard line to continue this drive, but you see.
And they got to stop the clock.
Exactly. Just 16 seconds left. Jones. Thinking about running it. He is gonna just barely get it.
He got it.
And out of bounds. And stops the clock inside the 10. 8 seconds to go.
Well, it's a smart heads-up play. He decided very early and trusted his ability to get to the corner and dove for the first down, and that's a great heads-up football play by a rookie quarterback. And I got to tell you, I got to tip my hat to the game he's had so far. I don't know that they can pull this game out, but they've got a chance, and it's because of Cardale Jones.
He's picked up 34 yards on the ground. Jones. Intended for Boykin. 4 seconds left. Flag down.
Prior to the pass, holding. Defense number 46. 5-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Well.
Now the first down is irrelevant, but the 5 yards is big, because now with 4 seconds, a guy like Cardale Jones could bust it into the end zone with his legs, or with a wide field. And down here and close in the red zone, it's going to be 1st and goal on the 4. In the red zone, the field becomes wide and shallow, not deep and long like it is out in the field. So the field, you become spread out thin, and that's where a quarterback, a big guy like Cardale Jones, can find a gap and gun the ball in or dive over for the touchdown.
James Wilder is checked in as the tailback. He's to the left of Jones. Timeout, Indy.
Chuck Pagano took a timeout.
What do you call?
I move the quarterback around. I've got to get Cardale Jones a chance to use his legs and his arm. And the problem is this. This is the group of wide receivers, offensive linemen, and the quarterback that don't get too many reps in red zone work with the game on the line. And you get one chance to do it. In practice, all you do is say, okay, what are we going to run? When you run that play. This is a play where you have to make it work. You have to get in the end zone. You can't just run the play when they drop. It's not like two-a-days where you're going to run 17 more of the same play. And if you drop it, well, let's just line up and do it again. This is it. And that gives this play that whatever happens, keep it going kind of mentality. But these young receivers, they haven't worked with Cardale that much. They haven't worked with this offensive line. This is all a bunch of guys that are just trying to do it individually. And Rex Ryan is loving every minute of this. And this is fun. I mean, it really is. And it's great that this game came down to give with this chance for the Bills.
Jones slings it. Touchdown! Jared Boykin, as time expired, but there's still some meat left on this chicken wing.
They got to go for 2 and get the win. And I'll tell you what, Cardale Jones stood in there like a piece of granite. He did not move. He stood there, and then gunned it, and a one-handed grab. A one-handed grab by Boykin. He reaches out with his left hand and pulls it in.
Tyrod, yeah.
I'll tell you what, this is the kind of game that gives you a huge boost all the way through the next week of practice in the preseason. You get young guys who you think, man, we got some guys that can help us. Guys like Tyrod Taylor, Kyle Williams, all these veterans love having young guys who know how to win.
For the win. Hankerson to the right. Cardale fakes it, avoids, dumps it, and Indy is gonna win, but just barely. Oh, what a brave comeback by the Bills, who fall 19-18.
Well, there's no question they were going to go for 2, and Cardale Jones acquitted himself extremely well. A lot of things to think about, a lot of great stuff, like a lot of preseason games. A lot of fantastic plays, a lot of fantastic players, a lot of things to clean up, penalties for one, but you found out some things maybe about that guy right there, Cardale Jones, that gives you a little hope and a little excitement about what's going to happen next.
10 penalties, a knee injury, which looks pretty serious to IK. Certainly the negatives, ditto with the loss, but in the end, all of a sudden they feel awfully comfortable at quarterback and some other positions. We'll wrap it up next.